A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio. A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Stern with a Colgate Shave Cream Sports Newsreel.
Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern is on the air. Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern with stories rare. Study Bill's advice and you'll look so keen. You'll have a face that's both smooth and clean. Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern.
The 529th edition of the Colgate Shave Cream Sports Newsreel, transcribed and featuring America's most famous collector of yarns and stories. Some legends, some hearsay, but also interesting that we like to pass them along to you. And to do this, here's radio's #1 sports reporter, Bill Stern. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest tonight is the former heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis, who will recite the famous Christmas poem, The Night Before Christmas. But before you meet Joe Louis speaking in person, here is Real One, Portrait of Christmas. Once again, it's Christmas time, and that's why tonight we'd like to tell you a Christmas story. A Christmas story that begins in Austria. For in Austria, two men named Franz Gruber and Joseph Moore were great friends. These men, Franz Gruber and Joseph Moore, loved all kinds of sports, but they loved liberty more. And because they did, they were an inspiration to a young boy named Charles Fohlen. Charles Fohlen, who lived in nearby Germany. In fact, these two men and their great love of liberty were such an inspiration to young Charles Fohlen that when he grew up, because he hated German persecution, he decided to leave Germany. Charles Fohlen did leave Germany. He came to America seeking freedom, and here in America, he became a professor of German at Harvard University. However, Charles Fohlen didn't get along very well at Harvard. In fact, his associates at Harvard thought that Charles Fohlen was a radical, and because of that, he was about to be expelled as a professor at Harvard when one day his young child came to him and said,
Daddy, Christmas is almost here. Do you think we can have a Christmas party?
Charles Fohlen thought for a moment, and then he agreed to give that Christmas party. And he also decided to invite all his associates at Harvard to his Christmas party. He did give that Christmas party in his home, and just as the party reached its height, suddenly, dramatically, Charles Fohlen threw open the dining room doors as he said to the assembled guests,
"Gentlemen, I have a surprise for you. Look what's in the dining room."
Immediately, all eyes turned toward the dining room, and as they did, the guests gasped at the surprise they saw in that dining room. For what they saw that day in that dining room, they had never seen before. And also, what the guests saw in that dining room saved Charles Fohlen's job as a professor at Harvard. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of Charles Fohlen. But maybe you'd like to know what that surprise was that Charles Fohlen introduced to save his job at Harvard University. Charles Fohlen saved his job at that Christmas party by showing that he was not a radical, but a man of goodwill. For it was at that Christmas party that he introduced the first Christmas tree ever seen in America. Strange that Charles Fohlen should have introduced the first Christmas tree ever seen in America. For do you remember I told you in the beginning of the story that two men, Franz Gruber and Joseph Moore, inspired Charles Fohlen to come to America? Well, these two men are also famous at Christmas time, for it was these two men, Franz Gruber and Joseph Moore, who wrote the beloved Christmas hymn, Silent Night.
Silent night.
Merry Christmas to you, honey.
Oh, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
I'll be back in just a moment with Joe Louis, the heavyweight champion of the world, reciting The Night Before Christmas. But first, Reel 2. Here's how to take the headache out of shaving. Here's how to get smooth, comfortable, long-lasting shaves, regardless of how tough your beard or how tender your skin. Just try Colgate Brushless Shaving Cream. Try it on this swell proposition. There's $1 cash, says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. Yes, $1 says it solves your shaving problems, and here's why.
Because it's light and fine-textured, Colgate Brushless completely surrounds, softens, and supports each bristle better than greasy heavy creams. No matting down, no clogging. Your razor doesn't skid or skip when you use Colgate Brushless, but cuts through clean and smooth.
Believe me, that light, fine-textured Colgate Brushless softens up the toughest whiskers and fast. Makes your shave smooth, clean, and easy, even in cold or hard water. And your face feels really comfortable afterward. But see for yourself. Get a large or giant-sized tube or jar of Colgate Brushless shaving cream. Use it a week. And if you don't agree it's the ideal shave, then just mail me back the carton top, and Colgate will send you $1. Address, Bill Stern, care of Colgate, Jersey City, Zone 2, New Jersey. Is it a deal? There's $1 cash. Says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. And ladies, remember, Colgate shaving cream is a wonderful Christmas gift for any man. Reel 3. Colgate's camera close-up of Joe Louis. Here is Joe Louis, the retired undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, the idol of children all over America. Because of this, we have asked Joe to speak to children everywhere tonight as he recites part of The Night Before Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, America's former heavyweight champion, Joe Louis.
It was the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stocking was hanging by the chimney with care, and hoped that St. Nick soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their bed, while vision of sugar plum dancing in their head. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprung from my bed to see what was the matter. I saw a little old driver, so lively and quick. I knew in a minute it must be St. Nick. More rapidly than eagle, his reindeer they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dassin, now Dancing, now Princeton and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Dunner and Vixen. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nick came with a bounce. He spoke not a word, but went straight to wait, and filled all the stocking, then turned with a jerk. He sprung to his sleigh, and his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like down on a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Thanks very much. Good luck and good night, Joe Louis. Reel 4. Profile of a Christmas greeting. Each year at Christmas time, we've told you a special Christmas story, and so tonight, in response to many, many requests, here is our annual Christmas story. A story that apparently many of you have come to look forward to each year. This is the story of a prize fighter named Swifty Edwards. Swifty Edwards was once a good fighter, but by 1926, Swifty Edwards was all washed up. He was now just a human punching bag. No fight promoter wanted any part of it. However, several days before Christmas, in the year 1926, Swifty Edwards went from one fight promoter to another trying to get a fight. He had no money, and Christmas was coming. Each Christmas, Swifty had always given his wife a new dress. Well, there'd be no new dress for Christmas this year if Swifty didn't soon get a fight. Finally, Swifty reached the end of his rope. He went to a crooked fight promoter, and he did get a fight. He got a fight by agreeing to throw that fight, and for agreeing to throw that fight, he was to be paid $30 in advance. Swifty was ashamed to tell his wife. Instead, he tried to act enthusiastic as he said to her,
Gee, honey, I got a fight. Boy, will I murder this guy. He's a cinch for me. Look, I got the money in advance. $30. Here, honey, is your Christmas present. Get yourself a new dress.
On Christmas Eve, Swifty climbed through the ropes to fight his first crooked fight. And in the second round, as he'd agreed to, he went down and he was counted out. Swifty dressed quickly to go home. It was Christmas Eve, but as he entered his shabby home, his wife met him at the door, her face twisted with grief.
Swifty, what happened?
For a moment, Swifty didn't answer, and then he spoke.
Never mind, honey. It's Christmas. Let's be happy. May I see your new dress?
Swifty's wife looked up at him as she said,
I took that $30 you gave me, Swifty, but I didn't buy a new dress. I wanted to give you a Christmas present, too. You said you'd win. So, I bet the $30 on you to win. Now we've got nothing.
However, Swifty did have something left, for Swifty had a friend. A friend named Jimmy DeSalvio was also a prize fighter. Jimmy DeSalvio, far better known in New York City as Jimmy Kelly. This was the same Jimmy Kelly, who later was to become New York's most famous nightclub operator. In fact, one of New York's best-known nightclubs still bears his name. And it was in this nightclub that Jimmy Kelly introduced a girl named Ellen McKay to a boy named Irving Berlin. Irving Berlin fell in love with Ellen McKay, so much in love that Ellen McKay's father took her to Europe. Irving Berlin was lonesome. He loved her very much. That's why one day he called her on the transatlantic telephone and he said,
"Hello, Ellen. This is Irving. Say, Ellen, I've just written a song. It says what's in my heart. Listen, it goes like this.
All alone, I'm so all alone. There is no one else but you. All alone by the telephone, waiting for a ring or ting-a-ling."
That did it. Ellen McKay took the next boat home, and she married Irving Berlin. And on the day they were married, he wrote her another song. A song that says,
"I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always."
Irving Berlin made that song come true. He and Ellen McKay have been married 22 years now, happily married, and that's why now we know it's
not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always.
But there's still more to this story. For one day after Irving Berlin and Ellen McKay were married, they were out in sunny California. It was December, and yet the sun was shining and it was warm, so warm in sunny California that December day that Irving Berlin and his wife were sitting alongside a swimming pool when Irving Berlin said,
"Honey, remember Jimmy Kelly, the ex-prize fighter who introduced us? Well, I was just thinking of him. He's back east where there's snow and it's cold. And every Christmas time, that's where I want to be. It doesn't seem like Christmas without snow."
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
It was at that moment that Irving Berlin composed his famous song, "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas," a song that, even though it was written beside a swimming pool in sunny California, still says,
Say all your Christmases be right.
Reel 5, Arthur Gary.
For a shave that is a shave, really slick, really smooth, really comfortable, try Colgate Brushless Shaving Cream. Remember, there's $1 cash says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. And here's why.
Because it's light and fine-textured, Colgate Brushless completely surrounds, softens, and supports each bristle better than greasy, heavy creams. There's no matting down, there's no clogging. Your razor doesn't skid or skip when you use Colgate Brushless. Instead, it cuts through clean and smooth.
See for yourself how different Colgate Brushless Shaving Cream is. Notice how that light, fine texture wilts the toughest whiskers, how smooth and slick it makes your shave, and how comfortable it leaves your face.
Get a large or giant-sized tube or jar of Colgate Brushless tomorrow. If after 1 week you're not completely satisfied, then just mail a carton top back to me, Bill Stern, care of Colgate, Jersey City, Zone 2, New Jersey, and Colgate will send you $1. You can't beat that offer, and you can't beat those shaves. Remember, there's $1 cash says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the 3-0 mark for tonight. Next Friday night, we'll be back, same time, same station, speaking from Dallas, Texas, with a special New Year's program. And our guest in Dallas will be the famous singing star of stage, screen, and radio, Mr. Morton Downey. See you then. And until then, I'll be seeing you on the screen in the News of the Day newsreels at your favorite Lowe's or Associated Theaters. Now, till next Friday night at this very same time, when we greet you from Dallas, Texas, this is Bill Stern wishing you all a good night from New York.
Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern is on the air. Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern with stories rare. So now take Bill's advice and you'll look so keen. You'll have a face that's both smooth and clean. Colgate Shave Cream and Bill Stern.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to listen tomorrow night over the same NBC network to the Colgate Hour of Fun. Yes, fun for the whole family with the day in the life of Dennis Day, followed by the hilarious Judy Canova Show. Because tomorrow is Christmas Eve, both programs will be special Christmas broadcasts. The Bill Stern Show tonight was transcribed and came to you from New York.
Hear the new Mindy Carson Show tonight on NBC.
Is yours. Radio's oldest hour of music, designed for your enjoyment and presented every week the year round by the Standard Oil Company of California. Tonight, from the stage of San Francisco's beautiful War Memorial Opera House, we bring you the program that marks the beginning of the Standard Hour's 24th consecutive year on the air. During the current opera season, we are starring renowned soloists of the San Francisco and Metropolitan Opera Companies, and conducted by the General Director of the San Francisco Opera Association, Maestro Gaetano Merola. This evening, it is our pleasure to bring to you two outstanding soloists. The world-acclaimed tenor of the Metropolitan and San Francisco Opera Companies, Jussi Björling, and the leading lyric soprano of the Royal Opera of Stockholm, Anna-Lisa Björling. Our tenor soloist this evening needs no introduction to the world of music lovers, for his name has appeared in leading opera roles in every major music center in the world, and we're very proud to have him make his Standard Hour debut tonight. Jussi Björling. Mr. Björling's first solo this evening is the tender aria Che gelide manina from Puccini's La Bohème. Mahina from Puccini's La Boheme was the aria just heard, as sung by tenor Jussi Björling. Our distinguished soprano soloist this evening is also a newcomer to the program, and it is with pleasure that the Standard Hour welcomes Anna-Lisa Björling. Madame Björling will sing as her initial solo on our program the aria Mi chiamano Mimi.
a infortunare.
They Call Me Mimi from Puccini's La Bohème, with the music just sung by Annalisa Björling, who will now be joined by tenor Jussi Björling in a rendition of the duet finale from the first act of La Bohème. Tenor Jussi Björling and soprano Annalisa Björling with the singing of the duet finale to Act One of Puccini's La Bohème brought us to the midway point in our program. We shall continue in just 20 seconds following a brief pause for station identification. Our next selection features our soprano star, Annalisa Björling. It is the arietta from Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, popularly known as Juliet's Waltz Song. With the singing of Juliet's waltz song from Gounod's opera Romeo and Juliet, Madame Björling leaves the center of the stage as Jussi Björling comes to the microphone. Mr. Björling's next solo is the aria from Act 3 of Massenet's Manon, titled Ah, Fouille douce image.
toute la vie, et c'est semblant de gloire. Que ça c'est du fond de ma mémoire, un nom maudit, ce nom qui m'obsède, et pourquoi?
Yossi Gerling has sung the aria Ah, Fouille Douce Marche from Act 3 of Manon by Massenet. Returning now to her place before the gold curtain, Annalisa Björling sings the brief but exquisite selection from Puccini's Gianni Schicchi, known as O mio babbino caro.
Mi piace
The selection that you have heard Annalisa Björling sing is O mio babino caro from Gianni Schicchi by Puccini. And now Madame Björling is joined by Jussi Björling for the beautiful farewell duet from the fourth act of Gounod's Romeo and Juliet. You will hear the duet immediately following the orchestral introduction to Act 4, which precedes it. This is applauding a thrilling rendition of Bruno by our stars. The book and presented a beautiful bouquet of roses. They thank our audience as they leave the stage. Now I believe they're going to come back and take another bow. There it comes. Coming out on the stage once again. Annalisa Bjorling carrying a beautiful bunch of roses escorted by her charming husband. We bow again to the audience. The farewell duet from the fourth act of Gounod's Romeo and Juliet was sung for you by Annalisa and Jussi Bjorling. Next week, we shall again present Maestro Gaetano Merola and the San Francisco Opera Orchestra and 3 star soloists, Licia Albanese, John Pierce, and Enzo Mascarini. The program will come to you from Hollywood, for the San Francisco Opera Company leaves San Francisco tonight for its forthcoming season in Los Angeles. The Standard Oil Company of California cordially invites you to be tuned in at the regular time next Sunday evening to enjoy a concert of operatic music selected especially for your listening pleasure. Remember, this hour is yours.
Of Riley, when it's Pabst Blue Ribbon you drink, the finest beer served anywhere, so let the glasses clink. Oh, east or west or north or south, there's nothing like it at all. Yes, you're living the life of Riley when for Pabst Blue Ribbon you call. When for Pabst Blue Ribbon you call.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, finest beer served anywhere, proudly presents The Life of Riley, starring William Bendix as Riley. Human beings are improvident creatures, heedless of the future. And thus, banks in this country have had to devise painless inducements for thrift. One of these is the Christmas Club, whereby you deposit a small sum every week for 52 weeks, and then just before Christmas you go to the teller's window, present your Christmas Club book, and withdraw your savings in a lump sum, which enables you to buy Christmas presents for your friends, who, on receiving them, will exclaim, what a cheapskate. Standing in line now at the teller's window is Chester A. Riley, who joined the Christmas Club 52 weeks ago.
Mrs. Medbury?
Yes, that's right.
Here you are, $104.
I'll take it in 20.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Mr. Roberts?
J.J. Roberts.
$150, right?
Right, I'll take it in 20.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, and 10 is 50. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, same to you.
Who's next?
Me. Riley's the name.
May I see your passbook?
Passbook? I think I got it. Oh, yeah, here.
You get $2.
I'll take it in 20s.
$2? You only made one deposit all year.
Is that all? Well, I thought I made... I guess it slipped my mind. Only $2, huh?
I'm afraid that's all.
So what about interest?
Ha.
That's what I thought. Well, I'll take the $2.
Just a minute. There's a 75-cent charge for the passbook.
Oh. Well, okay, I'll just...
75-cent penalty for failure to make a minimum of 10 weekly payments.
Oh. Well, okay,
And a 75-cent service charge for mailing notices.
Okay, just give me...
You owe us 25 cents.
I owe you... No wonder on the window it says $10 billion reserved. Now I know where you get it from.
Mr. Riley, you...
All right, here's your quarter.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
The same to you.
Come on, Riley. Now let's get this shopping list finished.
Later, Peg.
But there's only a few days left till Christmas. Oh, I hate last-minute shopping.
Yeah, everything is gone and all you can buy is junk.
Now, come on, Riley. You write the list.
Okay, but let's try not to go overboard on presents this year. I ain't a millionaire, you know. But we got the Christmas Club money. Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank goodness. You know, dear, that was a wonderful idea of yours.
Yeah, it was a wonderful idea. Don't forget Babs and me chipped in every week.
And a good thing, too. It'll teach you a lesson in thrift.
Yeah, it'll teach them a lesson, all right.
How much have we got in the club?
Huh? Oh, about...
We should have $104.
Yeah, we should have. More or less.
Well, what about the interest?
Ha, ha, ha. Don't count on interest.
Well, did you withdraw the money from the bank?
Well, no, not yet.
Well, don't forget. Do it tomorrow. This will be the first Christmas we won't have to watch every penny.
I think I'll go for a walk.
Now, wait a minute, dear. We got to do this list.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see now. First, the Morrises. What do you think they'd like?
Well, they're both crazy about tennis.
Well, how about giving them a tennis ball?
Don't be ridiculous.
A tennis ball only costs 60 cents.
Well, it ain't the gift. It's the thought behind it.
I know what to get him. Trudy's redecorating her dining room. We'll get her something for the table, maybe.
How about a nice box of toothpicks?
Oh, stop clowning.
Who's clowning? They're made of the finest lumber.
Look, Riley, we can get along without you. You go for your walk. We'll draw up this list alone.
Well, just go easy. Don't make that list too long.
What are you worrying about? The big trick is to shop wisely.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised what we can do with that Christmas club money.
Yeah, I'll be surprised, all right. Gillis! Oh, Gillis!
Yeah, Ronnie.
Are you home?
Yeah, I'm home in here, Ronnie.
Oh, hi, Gillis. Oh, you're trimming your tree, huh?
Yeah, hand me some of them there bells there, will you?
Where? Oh, these?
Yeah, thanks. I get a big kick out of trimming a tree.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Listen, Gillis,
Nothing
pal.
like Christmas, you know.
Yeah, sure. Look,
Gonna get you know what I mean? Inside of you. You feel good.
Yeah, I know. Look,
Warm. You kind of have a glow inside.
Yeah. Look, I'm in a spot.
Goodwill toward man. Now, that ain't no baloney. On Christmas, I really look at people different.
Gillis, what I'm getting at
People
is...
ain't just people anymore. They're my brothers. And I'm filled with the spirit of giving.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. You see...
I feel like stopping some bum on the street. Some bum and holding out my hand and saying, brother, take everything I got.
Gillis, can you lend me $100?
I feel like it, but I don't do it. Why encourage bums?
Well, look, Gillis, I gotta have some dough.
Get lost, will you?
You're turning me down, your best friend. You just said you'd give to a bum.
Oh, with a bum, I got a 50-50 chance of getting it back. With you, I know I won't.
Well, it's only for a couple of days. I'll be getting my Christmas bonus from the boss at the plant. Come on, just $50, huh?
Where am I going to get that kind of a dough? 2 days before Christmas? I'm broke.
Well, I gotta get hold of some dough. Peg is home now, writing out a list of stuff to buy.
Hey, didn't you? Yeah, last year you told me you joined up with a Christmas club. What happened?
Well, I didn't pay my dues, so they kicked me out of the club. Please, Gillis, just loan me $40. I'm begging you.
Look, Riley, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a grown man begging. Don't beg. Do what any other self-respecting married man would do. Hawk something of your wife's.
Wife?
Yeah, jewelry. You know, a wedding ring.
Oh, how much could I get on Peg's wedding ring? It only cost $5 to start with.
Only $5?
Yeah, that's all she paid for it.
Oh, ain't she got no other jewelry?
No, she ain't got... Hey, wait a minute. She's got an old brooch of her grandmother's.
Yeah, worth anything?
Well, it's supposed to be. It's a real antique. She never wears it. Oh, but what's the use of talking? If I pawn it, she'll find out.
She don't have to know.
You mean take it and not tell her? Why, that's stealing. No, nothing doing.
You won't be stealing. Just bury it when she ain't looking.
No, I can't do that to Peg.
It's for a few days. When you collect your bonus, you can redeem it and put it back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, just for a few days. And I'm really doing it for the sake of the family. You can't call that stealing. It's really borrowing.
Sure, it's just a loan, that's all.
Well, sure, you might say I'm just liquidating hidden assets. I'm just transferring the collateral, kind of fiscal fiduciary.
That's right.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go steal that brooch. Should be here somewhere.
You sure she ain't wearing it?
Nah, she never wears it. It's too fancy. It's somewhere in this bedroom.
Better hurry up and find it.
Yeah, Peg will be home soon.
Did you look in this here drawer here?
Well, how can I? It's locked.
Dope. That's where it must be.
Yeah? Well, I ain't got the key.
Well, pull on it. These locks ain't strong.
This one is.
Let me try. There.
Now look what you've done. It's splintered.
You can glue it back later. Look for the brooch.
Should be in here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, it's got diamonds.
Oh, sure, this is the real thing. That's Peg.
Oh, I'm so tired I can drive. I've never seen the store so crowded.
Let's get out of here.
Not that way. She'll see us. The window. But the room, it's all a mess.
We'll clean it later. Get going. Come on, open the window.
I can't. It's stuck.
Let me try.
Look what you've done.
You'll fix it later.
It sounded like glass breaking.
She hit us. Out the window. Come on. Hurry, hurry.
But it sounded like it came from the bedroom.
Now run for it.
Why, I could have sworn I heard... Bam! Look at this room. Looks like a cyclone went through it. Well, someone smashed that window. And this drawer's been forced. Is anything missing? Oh, well, let's see. My brooch. I kept it here. Oh, Babs, we've been robbed. It's gone. Oh, that must have been the burglar we heard. Oh, why wasn't your father here? Oh, what are you going to do, Mother? I'm calling the police.
How much do you think you can lend me on it?
Well, let's see now.
It's a real antique. It belonged to my wife's grandmother.
And the setting's old-fashioned.
So is my grandmother. It's worth around $1,000, huh?
Well, it's got some good stones in it.
Well, it's probably worth $1,500.
Well, not quite. I'll give you $100.
I'll take it. Peg. She's out. I better clean up the bedroom.
Oh, it's you, Riley.
Peg.
I didn't hear you come in. Riley, we were robbed.
Robbed? Well, now, don't be silly.
My brooch is gone.
Well, maybe you mislaid it.
Oh, no, it was stolen. I heard the thief.
Now, Peg, believe me, we weren't robbed.
Oh, Riley, use your eyes. Look at this room. Clothing all over the place, pulled out of the drawers.
Yeah, those California moths.
Riley, this is no joke. We were robbed.
Well. Oh, that reminds me. Here's the money from the Christmas club.
Oh, never mind that now. I tell you, we were robbed, and you act as if it's something that happened every day.
That's right. I should do something, and don't you worry. I will. You leave it to me, Peg.
Well, where are you going?
I'll handle this.
Who you phoning?
Hello, Gillis talking?
Hello?
Oh, it's you, Ray.
Police headquarters.
What, are you nuts?
Don't call the police.
Officer, I want to report a robbery.
Since when does a crook report his own robbery?
A brooch was stolen from Chester A.
Now,
Riley,
Riley,
1313 Blueview Terrace.
I already called
Peg, I can't hear a word you're saying. Wait, I'm through phoning.
But, Riley...
Now, look, Sergeant.
Riley, you going for
You
judge?
catch that crook in 24 hours. Goodbye.
Riley, why don't you listen to me? I told you that
Just a minute, Peg, the door.
Good evening. I'm Sergeant Henderson, Police Headquarters.
What a department. They certainly moved fast ever since the shake-up.
Riley, I called the police before you got here.
Oh.
Mrs. Riley?
Yes.
We believe we found your brooch. Is this it?
Oh, yes. Where did you get it?
The thief pawned it only an hour ago.
Did you catch him?
Not yet.
What's that?
I said, not yet?
No, but we will. The pawnbroker gave us a very good description.
He did?
I have a hunch it might be someone in the neighborhood.
Oh, no, it couldn't be. This is a nice, respectable neighborhood.
Well, anyway, I'd like to give you his description. You may remember seeing him around. He's about 5'10".
5'10". Riley, what are you doing on your knees?
I'm looking for something.
Blue eyes.
How can you look for something with your eyes closed?
Blonde hair.
I'm looking for my hat.
It's on your head.
Thank heaven for that.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
He weighs about 170. He said his grandmother gave it to him.
Never mind. I know who it is.
You do?
Chester
Chester Riley.
Now, wait a minute, Peg. I can explain the whole thing.
I don't quite understand.
Riley.
I just borrowed it just for a few days. I needed the money. I didn't want you to find out there's no money in the Christmas club, so... Oh, no, I take that back.
But every week we all gave you money.
Yeah, well, I borrowed that, too.
You borrowed that, too.
Okay, Sergeant, I'll go quietly. Take me to jail.
Well, if Mrs. Riley prefers charges, Mrs. Riley?
No charges. I'll handle this in my own way.
Well, in that case, good night, ma'am.
No, Sergeant, wait.
Chester Riley, when I get through with you...
Sergeant, come back. As a taxpayer, I demand that you arrest me. I'm entitled to protection.
Pabst Blue Ribbon will bring you the second act of the life of Riley in just a moment. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Every time the clock ticks, thousands of people north, south, east, west are buying a bottle of Pabst Blue Ribbon. And that, my friend, goes on 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. No, it's not my purpose to impress you with the arithmetic of Pabst Blue Ribbon's popularity. I merely want to register this one point. All of those bottles of Pabst Blue Ribbon, every second of the day, are exactly alike. And I'm speaking about the beer, not the bottles. It's exactly alike in taste, exactly alike in flavor, exactly alike in color, exactly alike in quality. There's no great mystery about the reason. It's simply this. Pabst Blue Ribbon is very expertly brewed. Step by step, from grain to bottle, every process is guarded by Blue Ribbon men, Blue Ribbon methods, Blue Ribbon standards of control. If you haven't yet discovered Pabst Blue Ribbon, order a bottle with your lunch tomorrow, or have a case sent home. Taste it. Know why more beer drinkers bought Pabst Blue Ribbon in 1949 than ever before in Pabst's 105-year history. Taste it. Know wherever you go, you hear it called and called for as the finest beer served. Anywhere.
You hear it everywhere. Finest beer served anywhere. 33 fine brews blended into one great beer.
And now, back to The Life of Riley, starring William Bendix as Riley with Paula Winslow and John Brown.
Peg! Babs! Oh, you're eating already. I'm sorry I'm late for supper. I stopped in at that stool pigeon. I mean, pawnbroker, and redeemed the... Here's your brooch. Peg. Well, take it. Come on, Peg. I'll put it in your purse. Okay. You don't have to tear my hand off. Put it in yourself. I wasn't going to take anything. Oh, might as well sit down and eat. What's for supper, Peg? What are you eating there, Junior? Is that pot roast, Babs? You might answer me when I talk to you. Fine thing, I come into my own house and nobody says a word to me. Not even hello. I'm the head of this house and I insist that somebody say hello.
Hello?
That's better.
No, you had the wrong number.
Now look here, Peg, I'm entitled to some respect.
Respect? You want respect after what you did?
Well, I just took the brooch.
I'm not talking about the brooch. But Babs and Junior trusted you. Every week they gave you their nickels and dimes.
We saved it out of our allowance.
Well, who gave you your allowance anyway?
Mom did.
Just wanted to make sure you knew.
We trusted you, Daddy. And you took their money and stole it.
I didn't steal it.
No? Well, what would you call it?
Embezzlement? I really meant to deposit the money. I just borrowed it. And I would have put it back, only Christmas came so sudden this year.
Some Christmas. No presents.
Yeah, we got a tree and nothing under it. What'll people think?
Well, is that all you care about? What people think?
My boss will be dropping in Christmas morning to hand me my bonus check. How will it look?
Well, whose fault is it?
That's beside the point. We got to do something.
Just don't try pawning the furniture.
Oh, I'll think of something. I ain't going to have no naked tree in my house.
Hi there, Riley.
Oh, hi, Muley.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same to you. So long. Merry Christmas. Fine Christmas I'm having. I'd have a merrier Christmas if I was in Forest Lawn.
Would you care to bet?
Huh?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, I didn't recognize you, Digger. What are you doing dressed up as Santa Claus?
Well, I do this every year.
Yeah?
I solicit contributions for the UEPJYS.
UEPJYS.
The Undertakers, Embalmers, and Pallbearers Jolly Yuletide Society. Charity, you know. Our slogan is, help a body get on its feet. I stand on the corner here and I ring my little bell. Listen.
That's very jolly.
I see you've been doing a lot of shopping.
No. Oh, you mean these boxes? There's nothing in them. You got any empty boxes, Digger?
No. Every box down at my place is filled. I'm giving away a lot of gifts this year. Why do you need boxes?
Oh, it's just an idea I got. I think I have enough. Well, I'd better get on home. Merry Christmas, Digger.
The same to you and a happy new year. I wish you happiness, prosperity, and a long life. And believe me, I don't say that to everyone. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
I'm in the living room, Peg.
Well, what are you doing? Riley, what are those packages?
They're presents for the family.
Well, where did you get the money
Don't get excited. There's nothing in them.
But they're wrapped so beautifully.
I did it. I bought some paper and ribbon. If people drop in and see all these boxes, they'll think it's presents. They won't know it's really empty. That's using my head, huh?
And that's empty, too.
I guess it is, only it ain't wrapped as pretty.
Riley.
Oh, Mom. Hey, look at all the presents.
Oh, where'd they come from? Don't get excited, children. They're empty boxes.
But they got tags with writing on them.
That's right. I always say if you do a thing, do it right. This one here's from you, Peg, to me. It's supposed to be an electric blanket. The card says, to my darling husband, may this keep him as warm as my burning love for him.
Oh, brother.
And this one here says, to the best daddy in the world from his loving children. Cute, huh? Well, it's just an idea. This one here is for you, Junior.
Gee, that's a funny-looking package, so long and thin.
It's supposed to be a baseball bat.
Oh, I wanted a football.
I'll make it a football. And this here is for you, Peg. Both of them. I got 2 boxes for you.
It was very generous of you.
Card says, to my loving wife, a Merry Christmas.
Well, Riley, what are you crying about?
That's the way I am. I get so much joy out of giving. What time is it, Peg?
11:30. You better go and eat some breakfast.
I ain't hungry. Stevenson should be here by now.
Maybe he's not coming this year.
He better come. I'm counting on that bonus. Why are you all sitting there looking at me like that? This is a fine Christmas morning. Everybody's sitting around like it's my funeral.
Hey, here comes your boss, Pop. That's his car.
Huh? Yeah, that's it. I told you he'd show up. Now smile, will you? All of you. Remember, it's Christmas. And Merry Christmas, boys.
Merry Christmas, Riley.
Come in.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Stevenson.
My, what a beautiful tree. Look at all those beautiful packages. Say, you haven't opened them yet.
Well, no. we didn't get around to it yet.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's open them.
No.
Come on, Riley. I love to open presents.
No, don't. Peg.
Yes, let's open them.
Oh.
Here, Riley, this big one's for you. This is yours, Junior. Here's yours, Babs. Well, go on, Riley. Open it.
Huh? Yeah, I guess that's
Well, look at that. An electric blanket.
Yes, an electric blanket. An electric blanket? But how did... I can't understand. How could
this football?
Beautiful handbag. Oh, thanks, Riley, darling.
Yeah, but yesterday they were empty and... Holy smoke, I never believed it, but there is a Santa Claus. Well, how else did it... Oh, Peg. Peg, you went and... Oh, Dumpling, you filled... Oh, you're sweet.
Well, I've got to be running along now, folks. Goodbye.
No, wait, boss.
Yes?
Didn't you forget something?
Well, let's see. Coat, hat, gloves, cane. Oh, I've got everything.
No, wait a minute. No, I didn't mean that. I meant well, it's Christmas. You know, Christmas.
Oh, of course. Stupid of me. Merry Christmas!
Mr. Stevenson.
What a cheapskate. A whole year I slaved for him, and he don't even give me a bonus. I was counting on the bonus. Not for myself. I wanted to give it all to you, Dumpling. Just goes to show you can't depend on nobody except your family. Oh, it was wonderful what you done, Peg, surprising me like this. I don't know where you got that money to buy all... Peg, you didn't... The not my bonus. You didn't take...
Mom sure put one over on you, Pop. She got the bonus from your boss yesterday.
You stole my bonus.
What?
You embezzled my bonus?
What?
You borrowed my bonus, and you're welcome to it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, dear.
In just a moment, Riley will return. There is still time for you last-minute Christmas shoppers to buy a welcome gift for the beer drinkers on your list. Tomorrow morning, pick up a couple of Pabst Blue Ribbon Handy 6 cartons. And then when somebody says, "Oh, we forgot all about a gift for Uncle George," you'll have a Christmas package already wrapped and covered with gay holiday decorations. What's inside? 6 regular-sized cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Finest beer served anywhere. Ask your dealer tomorrow for the Handy 6.
I'll tell you one thing, Peg. What happened this Christmas taught me a lesson.
I should think so.
We won't have no trouble with our Christmas fund next year. This next year, I was thinking we'll save $3 a week. Huh?
Oh, Bob. Yeah. Wonderful.
Okay, now let's shell out for the first deposit. Here's my $1.
Oh, here's my 50 cents.
Here's mine.
And here's my $1.
Fine. Now, first thing tomorrow, I'll go to the bank and open it. Hey, Peg, wait a minute, Peg. What are you taking that money for? I'll put it in the bank.
This time we'll keep it right here in the cream jug, where I can keep an eye on it.
Well, what's the matter with you, Peg? Don't you trust banks? Folks, this is Riley, alias William Bendix. All of us, Peg, Babs, Junior, and Digger, are happy to be with you in this warm and wonderful holiday season. You've all been good friends, all you folks everywhere. In the big cities and the little towns and the farms and the ranches all over the USA. Yes, and the boys who are all over the world tonight in uniform. We're thinking of you and hoping you'll be home soon. Our sponsors, the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon, join us in wishing you, wherever you are, a Merry Christmas. It's a real thrill to be able to send a holiday greeting to so many people all at once. So let me say again, to the friends of the Rileys and Pabst Blue Ribbon everywhere, a very Merry Christmas.
Oh, it's the life of Riley when it's Pabst Blue Ribbon you drink. The finest beer served anywhere, so let the glasses clink. Oh, east or west or north or south, there's nothing like it at all. Yes, you're living the life of Riley when for Pabst Blue Ribbon you call. When for Pabst Blue Ribbon you call.
Pabst Blue Ribbon invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley, starring William Bendix as Riley. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker by arrangement with Universal International Pictures, now releasing South Sea Sinner, starring Shelley Winters and MacDonald Carey. Tonight's script is by Reuben Shipp and Alan Lipscott. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. Babs is Barbara Eiler. Junior is Bobby Ellis. And Mr. Stevenson is Alan Reed. Consult your local paper for the correct time of the Life of Riley show on television over NBC each week. The Life of Riley is brought to you by the Pabst Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Newark, New Jersey, and Peoria, Illinois, and sent your way with the best wishes of Pabst Blue Ribbon dealers from coast to coast. Jimmy Wallington speaking.
Next, it's Jimmy Durante with Don Amici on NBC.
It was a week before Christmas, and all through the house, a creature was stirring. And boy, what a rat.
This is another in the adventures of America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar, starring Charles Russell. At Insurance Investigation, Johnny Dollar is only an expert. At making out his expense account, he's an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Industrial Insurers Incorporated, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, Mr. Eben Stevens, General Manager. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of small-time swindles of big-time department stores. Or how I played Santa Claus and almost got left holding the sack. Or going for a sleigh ride without benefit of snow can be tough sledding. Expense account, item 1. $1. Tip to messenger who delivered this assignment writing by hand from my apartment.
Thanks, Mr. Dollar.
You have never been known as a fast man with a buck, Mr. Stevens, and I must say your note to me also marked you in my mind as an economist with words.
Dear Dollar, our client, the Association of Department Stores of Greater Manhattan, has requested help on the following problem. A young man has been making the rounds of New York department stores during the current Christmas rush. Using his equipment and official-looking sales book, he goes to a business department, makes a quick sale on some large item, writes it up in his furious sales book, takes the customer's cash, and disappears. Enclosed find varying descriptions as furnished by victims to date, and check for your usual retainer fee. Please put a stop to this nefarious practice at once. Signed, Eben Stevens, General Manager.
Expense account, item 2. $6.21. Train fare, Hartford to New York. Next morning at 7:03 on the Banker's Special. A train very cleverly named that because 75% of its load is made up of bankers. I sat among them in a parlor car, watching them limbering up for the day's chores, slowly shaking their heads from side to side and softly whispering, "No." We arrived at Grand Central at 9:20. The bankers got off and headed for their granite vaults. I got off and headed to face my stone wall. Expense account, item 3. 4 bits, cab fare to offices of the Association of Department Stores of Greater Manhattan. There, things got brighter right away. Her name was Judy Whitehall. Boy, how she'd been missed by the scouts for the Copacabana, I'll never know.
I have been assigned to help you all I can, Mr. Dollar. What would you like to know first?
Your home phone number. Oh, well, maybe we'd better wait until later for that. How many stores are there in your association, Miss Whitehall?
We have 120 member stores, Mr. Dollar.
Great. You know, in one department store, I'm the kind of a guy that can't find a glove department. And now I've got 120 stores in which to find someone I don't even know.
Well, we do have the man's description.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have a lot of descriptions, all slightly different.
And the regular store detectives are all on the lookout.
It's like looking for a noodle in a spaghetti stack.
And all the sales personnel have been warned.
It's beautiful.
What's beautiful?
Your face.
Well, really, Mr. Dollar.
Hmm?
After all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I know. Business. Well, before I start, maybe you'd better give me a letter of identification. If I spend all day moseying around department stores without buying anything, I can stand a good chance of getting picked up as a shoplifter.
Right away. Follow me.
All right.
Oh, just a minute. Hello, this is Miss Whitehall. Oh, yes, Mrs. Sandler. Oh, my, that's terrible. My goodness, that's awful. Good gracious, that's worse. Well, the insurance investigator is here right now, Mr. Sanders. We'll be right over.
What's so terrible?
Well, that man, the one we're looking for, he was in the Miller's store making a phony sale in the camera department.
Well, you also said it was awful.
It was. A little girl picked up a camera and snapped his picture, and the man tried to take it away from her, and the girl yelled, and then her mother screamed.
And what made it worse?
Well, a store detective came running, and the man shot him. Then he grabbed the little girl, camera and all, and ran off. They called the police.
Really? I can't imagine why. The mob scene in the Miller store would have made the Notre Dame backfield holler uncle. Christmas neckties were selling like hotcakes. Only compared to most of the ties, a hotcake would look better on you. The camera department was on the mezzanine, and the store manager, Mr. Sandler, was on a rampage.
Why doesn't somebody do something? Why can't they find him? I've got men posted on every door. He's in this store somewhere, and... Oh, Miss Whitehall, it's about time. Who's this?
Oh, this is Mr. Dollar, Mr. Sandler, from the insurance company.
Well, I don't know what you can do, Dollar. I've already got 20 policemen running all over the store. It's absolutely ridiculous, preposterous, and fantastic. That's what it is.
Also amazing. Now, tell me, Mr. Sandler, about that little girl who picked up the camera and snapped the culprit's picture. Did they find her yet?
They certainly did, in the rug department. She'd been shoved in the middle of a pile of 9x12 Orientals on sale at $123.50. She was scared, but not hurt.
Now, the girl was found without the camera, I suppose.
Naturally, but the camera wouldn't do us any good. After all, I'm sure the camera didn't have any film in it. They never do when on display.
Well, how about the store detective, the one who got shot?
In the hospital, Miss Hall. They'll call me here as soon as they find out how badly he's been hurt.
Well, look, getting back to that kid, was she able to give you a good description of the guy who grabbed her?
She hasn't stopped crying long enough.
Well, how about her mother?
Neither is she.
Well, where are they now?
They're in my office. That's why I'm staying right here.
Where is your office?
On the 8th floor, right next to the credit office.
Well, this may be the first time I ever got past the credit office. Come on, Judy.
Oh, Bobby, come on. Blow your nose. There. Now, be a brave little girl.
I don't want it. He hit me. He tried to kill me. He took away my camera.
Let me have another try, Mrs. Jenkins.
All right, Mr. Dollar, if you think it'll do any good.
All right. Oh, come on now, Bobby. All you have to do is tell us what that bad man looked like. We'll get him, and then we'll fix him. Come on now, huh?
I don't want to. He'll kill me.
I'm beginning to think he's got a point. Okay, Bobby. Okay. Just a minute now. Oh, Judy. Here.
Yes, Johnny?
Looks like it's a child psychologist. I'm nothing. At this point, I feel like telling little Bobby to go out and play with some old razor blades. Got any suggestions?
Well, it is almost Christmas.
Yeah.
And one thing little girls don't want to do at Christmas is get in wrong with Santa Claus.
Ah, gotcha. Good gal. Where do we find Santa Claus?
In the toy department on the 5th floor.
Well, give me about 5 minutes to explain things to Santa, and then bring Bobby down.
All right.
Oh, Bobby.
What?
Do you know what happens to little girls who make Santa Claus mad at them?
Yes.
What happens?
They don't get to look at television before they go to bed.
I mean, at Christmas, what happens?
They don't get any toys. All they get is old sweaters and underwear.
Well, listen, Bobby. This guy Santa happens to be a good friend of mine. What do you think of that?
Tell him I want want an air rifle.
You would. Okay. I'll even fix it so you can tell him yourself. How's that?
Just fine.
Ah, good girl. Hey, where'd you get that blood on your coat? You got a cut?
No, sir. That's from that bad man. I bit him on the head.
Okay, Judy. Here I go. Oh, and on the way down, maybe you better stop by the dog supply department and buy little Bobby a muzzle. If the kid doesn't like his looks, old St. Nick may get nicked. Department stores should have some kind of a congressional medal for salespeople who work in the toy department just before Christmas. I took the elevator down to 5, and when that door slid open... It was like stepping into Dante's Inferno, junior grade. First, I got on a house phone and called Sandler, who was still in the camera department. He had word from the hospital. The store detective had died without regaining consciousness. I was no longer trying to catch a cheap swindler. I was now out to swap blood with a dirty murderer. A line of fidgety kids led me to Santa Claus, sitting benignly on his throne. I had a short talk with him, and a short wait for Judy and little Bobby. Okay, Santa. Now we've got to make her talk. That is, you've got to.
All right, Dollar. All right now, kiddies. You'll have to wait for a moment. We have a special little visitor coming to see me.
Hello, Johnny. All set?
Yeah, all set. Okay, Bobby, my girl. Now just let me give you a hoist up into Santa's lap. He wants to ask you a few questions.
I want an air rifle.
Now, you be a good little girl and answer all Santa's nice questions, and you'll get it. But not where I'd like to give it to you. Up you go.
Yes. Well, there we are, honey. Now, tell me, what do you want for Christmas?
I want an air rifle.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Tell me, have you been a good little girl?
Yes, sir.
Well, first we'll just have to look up your name in my little black book and make sure. Pretty good. All but one little thing.
What'd I do? I didn't do nothing.
Well, that's just it. You see, Bobby, I have a note here that today some people asked you what a certain man looked like, and you wouldn't tell them. Is that right?
I'm afraid. I don't want to tell. They can't make me.
Well, Bobby, maybe you and I had better talk this over. If you won't do something for us, how do you expect it?
Little Bobby's description of the murderer wasn't the greatest by any means, but it was better than none at all, with which we had been furnished by the personnel in the camera department and the kid's mother. We took the girl to the advertising department, where an artist made a sketch. Armed with a drawing, we made a tour of the store exits, showing it to the police posted on every door, giving them a rough idea what to look for. A medium-build, pudgy man with black hair. And when they came across such a character, he was to be issued an invitation to show his hands. If he was sporting Bobby's teeth marks, then they'd really know. Well, this chore out of the way, Miss Whitehall and I sank our teeth in a pair of sandwiches in the tea room. The Shopper's Delight sandwich, to be exact. Cream cheese, walnuts, watercress, and pineapple on whole wheat bread. We found the store manager, Sandler, back in his office. He, too, was eating, but he was on a diet of straight fingernails.
Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible. That's what it is.
Now, don't worry, Mr. Sandler. He'll be caught. As a swindler, he might have gone on for years. But as a murderer, it won't be long, believe me.
Oh, what to do? Well,
I've got several ideas. And the first is to get out of your office and start at the top of the store and work my way down.
They're already doing that, and not a sign of him.
Well, I once found a mouse in a hayloft, so be not disencouraged. And a pretty little mouse she was.
Oh, dear.
Oh, please, try to relax, Mr. Sandler. Everybody's doing their best.
Yes, I'm sure they are. It's just that Oh. Hello? Yes, it's Mr. Sandler. Oh, no. Where? How long has he been there? Hello? I'll be right down.
What's the matter now?
About an hour and a half ago, our store Santa Claus kept out in the employee restroom for a smoke. He was slugged from behind. When he came to, he was all tied up in a broom closet, and somebody has stolen his Santa Claus suit. They just found him.
About an hour and a half ago. Judy, you know what that means?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. 45 minutes ago, when little Bobby was giving Santa Claus the murderer's description, he was giving it to the murderer himself.
Oh, good gracious.
Instead of a kid's air rifle, it could have gotten us a revolver, size 38.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of Johnny Dollar. But first, CBS is going to bring you one of the biggest presents you ever received from show business tomorrow afternoon, Christmas Day. For a full hour on the entire CBS network, you're going to get all the comedy, all the laughs, and one of the greatest Broadway and Hollywood hits of recent years, The Man Who Came to Dinner. And the man who came will be played by none other than Jack Benny, plus Charles Boyer, Gene Kelly, Dorothy McGuire, Gregory Peck, and Rosalind Russell, plus Henry Fonda and John Garfield as narrators. You'll hear them all on CBS's special holiday hour tomorrow afternoon. Jack Benny, playing the man who came to dinner and breaking a leg, had to stay on and on and on. Now with our star, Charles Russell, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
There's no place like a crowded department store for a fresh-made murderer to be on the loose, especially one that's playing Santa Claus for a lot of rosy-cheeked little nippers. I headed back to the toy department, but when I got there, the cupboard was bare. Our lethal St. Nick had decided to give up his red flannel and white whisker hiding place. We found the empty suit in a storeroom, tossed high on a stack of baby buggies.
Oh, Johnny, this is terrible. That man's a murderer. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Now, listen, Judy. By now, there must be 87 cops sifting through this store looking for that guy. They've got 2 cops on every door. Now, all I'm going to do is help them look. This is one of those everybody's problems.
You're right. I guess I'm just getting excited.
Well, that you have a right to do. Come on, let's get out of here. I've got an idea.
All right, Johnny.
Mr. Dollar, thank goodness I found you. Mrs. Sandler wants you right away, down on 3. An old lady has just been shot in Junior Mrs. Lingerie.
Oh, serves her right for not acting her age. Let's go, Judy.
Right over here, Dollar.
All right.
Let him through, please. Let him... Lady, please stand back now. Well, Dollar, Congratulations. Before, this store was only going to sue that company of yours for $1 million. Considering what this shooting will do to our reputation, I'm going to make that $5 million.
Mr. Sandler, keep your powder dry. First of all, it's not my company. And second, you can't sue them for something they didn't do. And third, you'd better get this poor old gal to a hospital. How badly is she hurt? And how did it happen?
The doctor's on his way, and we've sent for an ambulance. This woman was lost along a big stairway looking for the ladies' room. That maniac saw her coming toward him and ran down the stairs, firing over his shoulder. The bullet just seemed to graze her left side.
Pretty lucky. Where are the police?
They're searching all over the store. Dollar, what are we going to do? This is terrible for business.
Well, I suspect that any minute now, the cops will be telling you to do something that's going to be even worse for business. Close the store.
Well, but close the store? Why, we're staying open late tonight. It's the last-minute rush.
I'm just telling you what I think. I think the cops will double the lookouts on all the doors and make you close the store. Then they can go to work.
We lose thousands of dollars. They can't make me close the store.
You stay open, you might lose a few more customers. The hard way. Where's that doctor?
He'll be here any minute.
Oh, Mr. Sandler.
Well, yes, what is it?
Well, they called up from the sporting goods in the basement. That man has been down there and held them up. And he took 4 guns and 6 boxes of ammunition.
6 boxes of... Oh, my... Oh, what's this going to do to our store?
If you're not careful, it's going to turn your store into the world's largest shooting gallery with live targets. You know what I suggest, Mr. Sandler?
What? Tell me what?
Don't wait for the police to tell you. Close the store. Sandler didn't like it, and neither did the customers, as they filed out of the store past the scrutiny of the police officers, still clutching their unfinished Christmas shopping lists. The process was slow, and while the customers were leaving, the clerks finished up their business, put the white shrouds over their counters, and they too filed out into the early night. The boys in blue, watching the doors, came up with several men answering the general description of our friend with a loose trigger finger, but none of them had little Bobby's teeth marks on his hands. That made it a 50-50 chance that Mr. Killer was still in the building. There's nothing more eerie than a department store after closing. And its white sheets, the whole joint seemed to be playing ghost. I sent Judy over to a steakhouse, Pietra's, on 3rd Avenue, told her to wait. Then I had Sandler get me a gun from the sporting goods department. For that lonely, scared feeling, there's no medicine that quite takes the place of a piece of cool steel in your little hot hand. The sergeant, in charge of the police detail, posted men outside all exits. The rest he took up to the roof with him. They were going to run the whole store through their burly blue sieve, floor by floor, counter by counter, inch by inch. Sandler stayed with me down the first floor. Just for fun, I thought I would start working my way up.
Dollar, don't you think we should get out of here and leave this to the police?
Well, I have several goosebumps that agree with you, Mr. Sandler, but I have a very dangerous habit of trying to earn my money.
Oh, this is terrible.
Now, look, every counter and post in this store is just the kind of hiding place a sniper would pray for. I get paid for this kind of work. You don't. Now, why don't you go out for a nice safe walk?
It's my duty to stay here. I'm sticking with you.
Okay. But remember, 2 of us gave him twice as much to shoot at.
Don't it!
I had to go and open my big mouth. Get down. Getting down on that floor could have been committing suicide in itself. The killer's bullet had crashed into a showcase, and a sea of broken glass is a risky place to practice diving. Having to swim out of it was twice as bad, but that's what I had to do.
Oh, Mr. Dollar.
Now, Sandler, keep your head down. Bury your face in that glass, but keep your head down.
Yes, Dollar. Tell me what to do, anything but get me out of here. I have a wife and 3 kids.
Well, if you'll do what I tell you to do, your wife will go on having a husband and your kids will still have a father.
Yes, just tell me.
I don't know exactly where that shot came from, but from the looks of this glass, it must have been from behind us. Now, I'm going to leave you and crawl over near those elevators. While I'm on my way, you rattle around in this glass. Let them hear where you are. Give me about 2 minutes, and then do something to draw his fire.
What can I do?
Do anything but one thing. Don't stand up.
I'll think of something.
You'd better. But don't take any chances.
No. But what are you going to do?
Take some chances. Once I was on my way, Sandler went to work with a vengeance. I could hear him thrashing around in that glass like he was trying to corner the Band-Aid market. I made it over to the elevators, scooting flat along the floor till I hit a car with an open door and slithered inside. Behind the protection of the elevator's front wall, I stood up, peered over at the edge of the door, and waited for Sandler to make the move that would draw the murderer's fire. I must say Sandler was dead game, and the way he made it move, he also stood a good chance of becoming plain dead. First, he stopped wiggling around on his bed of glass, and then he just stood straight up. The shot missed, but my eyesight didn't. The killer was shooting from high up, behind a pole. He was standing up on a glass showcase, hoping for a better view. And it didn't take me long to decide to give him a better view of the inside of that glass showcase. I started deliberately shooting his foothold out from under him. He was bleeding beautifully when he started to run, straight for the back of the store, firing as he ran. As one last souvenir, he threw his empty gun over his shoulder at me. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw guns. I decided to join the track team and run on the chase. Back out of the main floor, through the employees' entrance, out to the dimly lit shipping department, and its loading dock filled with packages ready for shipment. I could hear him moving around among them. Okay, get your hands up and come out. I'm giving you a chance, but it's not going to last long. Get moving.
I don't need your chance. I've got something better.
Okay, so you want to play. I think I'll give you a couple of Yuletide presents early, and I'm sure nobody will mind if I open your head before Christmas. My hot-headed friend was hiding behind a high pile of wooden boxes ready for shipping. I grabbed a heavy, empty dolly, gave it a flying start, and sent it crashing into the bottom box of the pile. It was beautiful. The biggest crash since 29. It was a tough fight, but, Mom, I don't think I won. At best, it was a draw. About the 15th time I belted him, he belted me right back. Then he got his hands on a hammer, laid it across the side of my head. I got the hammer, did the same for him. I made a hole in one. He fell squarely into a man-sized packing case lying at the foot of the packing bench. I was getting weak, dizzy. I had to hold him. One thing to do. Tap a case lying right there. All ready. Nails part way in. Put it on right over him. Nail it on. Good. Tight. Good. Tight. Good. Tight. Everything is turning black. Then everything went white. Hey, corny as this may sound, where am I?
You're in the hospital, Johnny, darling.
Hmm?
But don't worry. It's only a slight concussion. They brought you here last night.
Oh, I suppose I have a hammer-shaped hole in my head.
No, darling. It hardly shows.
Oh. How could it? The bandage is covering it up. Well, at least I got him.
You what, dear?
I got him. The killer.
Oh, no, dear. You couldn't have. They're still looking for him.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. What time is it?
11 in the morning.
I gotta get out of here.
Why? Johnny, please. Johnny, you're not supposed to get out. Oh, nurse!
If they let him get away after all my trouble, somebody was going to need a doctor. Judy and I hit the department store in 12 minutes flat. 1 minute later, I was in the shipping department talking to the head man.
Now, Mr. Dollar, just calm down. Everything's going to be all right. Now, exactly what is it you want to know?
That big packing case, the one that was lying right here in front of the bench last night. Where is it?
Oh, the great big one?
Yes, the great big one.
The one about 8 feet long and 3 feet wide?
Yes, the one about 8 feet long and 3 feet wide.
Well, there was something very peculiar about that case.
You're telling me. Where is it?
Well, this morning we came to work. The boys saw it all packed up, so they put it on the truck for upper New York State.
Oh, no.
Oh, indeed they did. But what was peculiar about it, even though they found it all ready to go, later on they found all the merchandise that was supposed to go in it lying around loose. It had never really been packed.
Well, then quick. The least you can do is tell me where it went.
Well, now that I can do. That box was the boss's big annual charity shipment of goods. That particular box is on its way to some of the unfortunates who'll be spending this Christmas away from home.
All right, so where is it?
By now, it should be at the New York State Prison, up in Ossining.
Expense account, item 5, $12.80. Dinner check at Pietro's, where I had asked Miss Judy Whitehall to wait for me the night before, and where I inadvertently stood her up. Although how a gal can stand up after eating $12.80 worth of food is more than I can figure out. Let's see. Expense account, item 6, $10. Medical supplies for those poor CBS sound men, Vern Surrey and Billy Gould, who had to break all that glass during the show. Expense account total, $511.50. You may think this amount is a little high, but isn't everybody at this time of the year? Signed, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
Charles Russell. Script by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd. Featured in the cast were Jay Novello, Georgia Ellis, Marlene Ames, Parley Bear, Paul Duboff, and Connie Crowder. The special music is written and conducted by Leith Stevens. Your announcer is Bob Stevenson. Be sure to be with us at the same time next week when another unusual expense account is handed in by
yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Those two pleasant gentlemen of music, Vaughn Monroe and Gene Autry, will be around with special Christmas music tonight on CBS. On his caravan, Vaughn will feature a medley of Christmas carols. And you'll hear the maestro and his band featuring Vaughn's new song success, The Jolly Old Man in the Bright Red Suit. Gene Autry will bring you Christmas music and the Christmas Eve story, Western style. Be sure to hear these two Saturday night CBS stars, Vaughn Monroe and Gene Autry, on most of these same CBS stations. Now stay tuned for Vaughn Monroe's Caravan, which follows on most of these same stations. This is CBS, where yours truly, Johnny Dollar, meets adventure every Saturday night. The Columbia Broadcasting System.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gut of the prison or the grave. This time I started with a Romanian from left field. Got misled in the Philippine jungles, chased a beautiful blonde clear to Venice, and wound up with a friend from Siam. All without ever leaving Los Angeles. It happened like this.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Moore starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Sword of Cebu.
Tell me where is the office of Philip Marlowe, the detective, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Right around the corner here to your left.
Oh, thank you very much. My friend, you know this Mr. Marlowe, eh?
Well, yes. Yeah, I think you could say I know him.
Tell me, he is a reliable man?
Well, that depends on what you want to rely on him for. Excuse me, will you? I want to unlock the door.
But you are Philip Marlowe?
Yeah, you're so right. Come on in, Mr.
Never mind. Now listen to me. I will pay you twice what Henry Pound has offered to you. Also, I will add to that $1,000 for a bonus.
Wait a minute. What is this Henry Pound, the $1,000?
Please, I have not the time for haggling. We may get $2,000, but you must work for me, not for Henry Pound. You only pretend to work for him.
Now, look, Bud, in the first place, I haven't heard from Henry Pound since I worked for him 4 years ago. Second place, I still don't know who you are or what you want. Maybe you better sit down over there, start at the beginning, and tell me.
You are lying! Oh! You are trying to trick me. Very well, Mr. Marlowe.
The short, dumpy man with wild black hair turned suddenly savage, swung a hard fistful of knuckles at my front teeth and propped me back up against my office desk. By the time I got out into the hall, he was gone. I was going to follow him, but my phone, screaming for attention inside, stopped me. I decided to be philosophical about it. After all, screwballs find me all the time. Hello, Marlowe speaking.
Hello, this is Henry Pound. Remember me?
Yes. I just had a reminder.
I've been trying to get hold of you for 2 hours. My boy, where have you been?
Out to dinner. Now, listen, Mr. Pound,
First, Marlowe, this is most important.
What?
I need your help again, immediately.
Yeah, it no doubt includes the stubby crumb with a head full of wild black hair and a nasty temper that left you on the run 10 seconds ago.
Kurt Tedesco.
Whatever you call him, it's probably it.
Kurt Tedesco. He's the one man I have reason to fear, Marlowe.
Yeah?
Come out here to my place at once, will you, my boy? Old Henry Pound's future is dangling over a very deep abyss by the merest thread, all because the sword is gone.
What sword? What sword are you talking about, Mr. Pound?
On the island of Cebu in the Philippines, the sword of Cebu.
What?
It means everything to me, and it's gone, vanished. I must have it back. Hurry, Marlowe.
20 minutes later, I pulled up in front of the walled-in jungle Henry Pound called home and zigzagged in through an Okinawan anti-evil spirit gate. Waded past the grove of dripping elephant ears and ragged banana trees and finally made the front door. The house itself, from turned-up eaves to thatched nipa lanai, must have been gathered piecemeal on Pacific Islands, all the way from Hokkaido to the New Hebrides. It was Henry Pound himself who answered the door.
Oh, Marlowe. You know, the only thing wrong with you is I never get to see you except when I'm in trouble.
That's the business I'm in.
Well, come in.
Sure. Hey, it's quite a place you have here, Mr. Pound.
The islands, my boy, yes. Since business keeps me away from them, I brought their atmosphere here to me.
Even the music, huh?
All but the mosquitoes. Oh, shoo-shoo. Now, stay away from underfoot, will you?
Shoo-shoo, huh? That's an albino Siamese, isn't it?
Yes, quite unusual.
Yeah?
But he sheds that abominable white fur of his like any common cat this time of year.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see my servant, Hideki?
Was I supposed to?
Well, when I couldn't reach you by phone, I sent him down to your office to wait.
Well, he must have gotten lost then.
Well, no matter. Let's get down to cases, my boy. Now, sit down, will you please? And listen closely.
All right.
My major business, as you remember, is importing pearls from the Orient.
I remember.
And since you worked for me last, I acquired a partner, a fine fellow named Voss in Manila. With his contacts there and mine here in the States, we've been extremely successful.
Was he the one who sent you that sword you mentioned?
Yes, it arrived 2 days ago, but he sent over half the curios you see in this room. That's why I failed to realize that there was anything special about the sword of Cebu.
Well, what is so special about it, Mr. Pound?
Here, read this letter I got from him.
Henry, I'm certain now there's going to be trouble. From one Kurt Bebesco in particular.
The man you told me that?
Yeah, I see. However, I've taken every precaution. Rest assured, Henry, that if anything ever happens to me, I shall somehow get the complete list of my contacts here into your hands. Sincerely, Eugene Voss. Well.
Eugene Voss was murdered 4 days ago in Manila. Murdered for that list of contacts.
Do you think the sword ties in some way?
Well, I'm positive of it.
Well, what's it look like?
Well, it's 3 feet long, Marlowe. The handle and the sheath are from the same gorgeous piece of white mahogany, and literally covered with intricate and exquisite carvings.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it is. When the sword is in the sheath, the two pieces form a complete pattern. I thought of it at once, of course, but when I came in to examine it again, it was gone. Stolen. Naturally, I called you instead of the police. I've got to get it back, Marlowe, intact and without publicity. Why, that sword is worth... Well, what the... Hideki!
Hey, he's hurt.
Hideki,
Oh, Mr. Pound, Hideki very sorry. He did not see Honorable Mr. Morrow. Hideki was attacked outside the minute he left.
By a stocky guy with wild black hair?
Oh, yes, that's him, yes. He found out where Hideki was going, then he hit Hideki. That all Hideki remember until a few minutes ago when he waked up again.
Oh, well, do you need a doctor, Hideki?
Oh, no, thank you. Just the same, Mr. Pound. Hideki already feel much better.
Well, if you're sure, well, now you better go lie down anyway.
So, thank you. We'll wash head first and be ship-shape no time. Very sorry, Hideki was Mr. Pound. Excuse me, very sorry.
Well, now, that explains how Bisco got to your office, my boy. He's our man, all right.
Yeah, but I don't think Babesco has the sword. You see, he's looking for it. He offered $2,000 to me to double-cross you.
Oh. I can't understand it. Babesco is the only one who might know the truth about the sword. If he didn't take it, then who... Oh, you stupid cat, get out there. Now! I knew it. Now see what you've done, broken my signing V.
He was playing with a piece of paper over there. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Eh?
It's a rent receipt made out of somebody named Saunders.
Let me see it.
Sure.
Received $40. Rent 1 month in advance for 812 Front Street, Venice. Just dated yesterday. Marlowe, I've never heard of this Saunders person, yet this thing was dropped here in my house. Perhaps by our thief, Marlowe. Do you realize what a break this is?
Dropped isn't the word. This was deposited.
Oh, what do you mean?
It's a plan complete with name, address, and date.
It was left here by someone who wanted it to be found, because whoever has the sword of Cebu right now might also have it up for sale.
I think you're right, my boy. Wait, what do you plan to do?
The only thing I can do, go to Venice and strike a bargain in our favor, I hope. I'll call you, Mr. Pound. I pushed my way out through the jungle to my car, turned around at the dead end of the street, and went down the way I'd come. At the first intersection, leaning against a lamppost, was 6 feet of lantern-jawed redhead in a turtleneck sweater and seaman's jacket. Gave me a hard, steady once-over until I was out of sight. Later, halfway to Venice, I picked up a pair of very sticky headlights in my rearview mirror, but lost them again. I turned out to Front Street and finally found number 812 all by itself out at the far end. I parked a block away and walked back. It was a battered, rickety beach shack. I moved in gently and found a crack wide enough to look through. There was no furniture, just one big packing crate, a kerosene lamp, and a blonde. Ho, what a blonde. She belonged in that joint like an orchid in a blacksmith. In one hand, she held a cigarette, in the other, a small automatic. I went quietly to the back of the house, found a tin can, threw it. And I plastered my back up beside the door and waited. She came out slowly, gun first, and when there was enough showing to get a hold of, I grabbed it. Drop the gun, sister. Come on, here. That's better. Now we can go in and talk, huh?
You think you're so clever.
I get by. Hey, cozy little spot you picked.
You got here, so it serves its purpose. Who are you?
Philip Marlowe, Henry Pound's private detective. Where's the sword?
We've things to talk over.
Your bargaining position is lousy, Miss Saunders.
What's the offer?
0, baby. I'm getting it back for free. Now, where is it?
Take your hands off me. The sword is here in the house, but the scabbard isn't. And one's quite worthless without the other, you know.
You're not taking a lot of chances, are you, kid?
The sword has already brought me $5,000, Marlowe, and I've only just begun. So make an offer, and make it good.
You're a liar. Sword's not worth 1/10 that.
Not of itself, no. But this one's special, and I know why. And I'll tell you something else.
You bet you will. You'll tell me where it is and fast.
Not that fast, mister. Don't move. Drop the gun. Now you can turn around.
Well, a lantern Joe with red hair. Well, you were tailing me after all.
Yeah, you said it.
Now, wait a minute.
Shut up.
But
Get out. The front door. Go on, beat it. I'll see you later. Now you, mister.
Now what?
Now we sit down, a couple of smart guys, and find a good, sensible way to work this out. Only I'm just a little smarter, because I got the only gun.
Keep talking.
What'd you say the sword was? Speak up, fella. Time's running out.
Sounds like time's not the only thing that's running out, Red.
Somebody's in the back room. Sorry, Tootsie, but now this only works one
way. Oh! I couldn't tell how long I'd been out. But I felt like I'd lost at least a weekend in somebody's boiler factory. I got back far enough to realize that something was going through my pockets. He was snaggled tooth, had a week's growth of beard, and put the room in need of a healthy spraying of sweet air.
Yeah, that's a little better. I thought you was done in there for a minute.
Yeah? Who are you? Oh, what happened anyway?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Call me Sid.
Okay, Sid.
Yes, thank you. I was walking along the beach out there like I always do, and all of a sudden I heard a scream. You know, like it was a wounded cat. It came from in here. And I know this house has been empty for years. Was it you was screaming?
No, I went out too fast.
Yeah. Well, I come a-running, and just when I stepped up on the porch, a fella in a pea jacket come charging out and beat it down the street.
Yeah, I remember. Red and the noise in the back.
Oh.
Have you been in there, that back room?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just looked this far, and I found you. Well, what's it all about, mister? What's back in there?
Hey, bring that kerosene lantern, will you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got it. Look, a guy.
Yeah, a wild-haired Romanian named Bibesco, with the sword of Cebu sticking clear through him. Dead center.
Now, with our star, Gerald Moore, we continue with the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Sword of Cebu.
While the beachcomber gaped like a marionette with broken jaws, strings of the impaled body of Kurt Babesco slumped at our feet. I quickly covered the room and the back porch, which led to the beach outside, looking for the wooden sheath that belonged to the sword of Cebu, just in case Claus Saunders had been bluffing. But 5 minutes of that got me nothing more than a little exercise and a lot of salt air.
Well, what should we ought to do now, mister? Call the cops?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure would like to take that sword.
So would I, Junior. But the homicide boys are kind of narrow-minded, you see. They like their corpses as is.
Yeah?
Come on, let's get to the phone.
Yeah, okay. There's one's a couple of blocks away. You got a car?
Yeah, it's out front. Got a light?
Yeah, here's the match.
Thanks. Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
What do you do with the conga club?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, them matches ain't mine. Just picked them up off in that barrel.
Just pick them up. Conga club. You know where it is?
Yeah, sure. It's right here in Venice. Ex-Marine runs
Oh?
it. Kind of wild, though. Cops raided it once. They had some dancing.
Where is it? Where is it? Come on, it could be important.
Straight down Front Street, Broadway, then left 1 block, and you're there.
Uh-huh. Now, look. You call the cops and get back here and wait till they come. Tell them my name is Philip Marlowe. I'm a private detective.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, sir, not me. I ain't waiting here alone.
$10.
That's all?
You heard me here. Tell the law I'll get in touch as soon as I can. Also, Sid, I'll match that 10 the next time we meet if you've kept your mind on your work.
Yeah, okay. But where'll I tell him he went to? The conga?
You catch on fast. The conga, Junior.
What'll it be, Mac?
Yeah, scotch and a little information. Girl named Claus Saunders, dressed in a white linen...
I never heard of her, Mac.
Oh.
I see so many people, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Now, you get what I mean, don't you, Mac?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, you better make that a double scotch. I'm through. He should have known better. Trusting a fast dame with every cent of his war bonus.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
War bonus?
Yeah.
Who should have known better?
Well,
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, Charlie. Wait a minute. Look, who should have known better?
My kid brother back in New York. He's a vet, Marines. He got his check from the state, and he turned it over to this Claus Saunders. They were going to get married. That's what she said. And that was the last he saw of her. Oh, well, it happens every day. He'll know better the next time.
Wait a minute. I just happen to remember. I know the gal.
You do?
Yeah. Been around a couple of days now. It's pretty flush, all right.
Know where she's staying?
Yeah, sure I do. A ritzy motel about 4 blocks from here, the Pavilion.
Pavilion, huh?
Yeah. You got bungalow 10 there, Mac. I know because you was complaining about it being the N1 and too long a run for the bellhop and a cracked ice dish there.
Oh.
You go get her, Mac. And when you do, tell the kid brother that another ex-Marine tipped you off.
Yeah, you bet I will. Bellhop, ice.
Oh, there must be some mistake.
And you made it. Yeah, we're going to straighten it out right now.
Your filthy hands.
Quiet down, Duchess. Now, sit down, over there. Don't as much as bat a false eyelash.
While you do what?
Take inventory, baby. I know you're alone because I played Peeping Tom before I played Bellhop. Chambermaids do a much-needed job on bedspreads.
All right. So it's under the pillow. We've got the sheet. Now, what are you going to do with it? And without the sword?
You kidding, Duchess. You don't think I missed that back room at the cottage, do you?
You found the sword there?
And Kurt Babesco was wearing the sword the hard way, through his insides.
Somebody was killed with the sword.
Oh, come on. It's a little late for that wide-eyed pitch, baby. Doesn't your carrot-top partner tell you every time he kills?
Marlowe, you got everything wrong.
Oh, sure I am. Yeah, sure. But just for laughs, let's pass it and you along to the cops, huh?
No, please don't. I'll tell you everything, Marlowe. Turner isn't my partner. He hardly knows me.
That's better. Now, just who's Turner?
The man with the red hair. Oh, Marlowe, believe me, I can explain everything.
Okay, let's try it. Did you steal the sword from my client, Henry Pound, yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Marlowe, let me start at the beginning. A week ago in Manila, please.
All right, let's have it.
It was late in the afternoon, and I was shopping for a handbag, just looking in store windows. Suddenly, I noticed a man hurrying down the opposite side of the street.
A man who turned out to be Eugene Voss, Henry Pound's partner, maybe?
That's right. I could tell he was afraid of something, Marlowe. He darted into a curio shop nearby. A minute later, I saw Turner.
You know him?
Just slightly. We'd met once. Obviously, he was following Voss. But he didn't go into the curio shop. Instead, he hid close by. And then when Voss came out, he shot him, Marlowe.
Just like that, huh?
He was gone before anyone knew what had happened. I ran over to Voss to see if there was anything I could do to help. But there wasn't. He was dying. Oh, it was frightful. Please, Marlowe, I'd like a drink. They're on the desk.
When you're through, go on. What happens next?
Well, he told me to take the money in his billfold, $5,000, to take it all for delivering a message.
About the sword?
Yes. I was to get in touch with Henry Pound here in Los Angeles and tell him that the sword which Voss had just purchased in the curio shop was on its way. He should pay special attention to it. And then he died.
Well, you decided that $5,000 was an awful lot for playing messenger boy, huh?
Yes.
So you said nothing to the police, grabbed the first plane for L.A., got the Pound's place here, and swiped the sword, right?
I figured if for delivering the message was worth $5,000, the sword itself would be worth a lot more.
But you had no idea why.
Oh, no. Maybe a code in the pattern of the design and the jewels in the handle. Probably not the sword itself.
Yeah, you figured right, little schemer. Yeah, here's your drink.
Thank you. The rest of
the story I can fit together myself. You knew you had something, but you didn't know what, so you swiped the sword, you left an obvious clue to an empty cottage, that rent receipt, you counted on it to start the ball rolling, and it certainly did. Who would that be?
I don't know.
Find out.
Who is it?
Turner, I want to talk to you.
Just a minute.
You still sure you're not partners, bitch?
Yes. I told you the truth, Marlowe.
All right, answer it. I'll wait here in the closet with the door open wide enough for the barrel of a .38, just in case you've never been to Manila. Go on.
Open up, hurry. Close it quick, that keeper may be around.
Who?
The one I slugged over at the cottage. He wasn't in when I went back. Just some bum I scared away.
Went back?
Yeah, I went back. After you ran, there was some excitement, Sweets. First, I slugged the people because I heard some noise in the back. I thought it was you.
Me? I never returned to the cottage.
I know it. It was a louse named Babesco. I got him all right. With the very sword he was after. The little number right here in my hand. He was competition. So were you, Sweets, except that I doped your angle a long time ago.
What do you mean?
Well, Voss told you something before he died in Manila. I stopped after I ran, Doll. I even came back. I saw you go for his billfold. Some mumble something. When I ran into you again here in L.A., I knew you were swinging in the dark. It was a nice try, Sweets. But you missed. Now give me the sheet. These two belong together. Come on, hand it over. You don't want me to be rough to you, Doll.
No. Here it is.
Well, that's better. Like I said, they belong together. Huh. That's funny. It should fit them.
What are you laughing at?
The answer, Sweets, a slip of paper with a list of people on it. I think it's crumpled in the bottom of the sheet here, and that's why the sword won't go all the way home. Yeah, here it is.
A piece of paper.
It's a valuable piece of paper.
Sure, names and numbers of all the players. That's it.
Marlowe. Oh, he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah. About as dead as a guy named Eugene Voss was last week on a sidewalk in Manila. Or the party called Babesco.
What is it?
Turner's dead, but I don't think his partner is.
Marlowe, you thought I was his partner.
Oh, yes, and I thought wrong, Claire. Well, now I got a little more to go on. I'll see you, honey.
Oh, no, wait. What am I supposed to do? Call the police and explain it all away as a practical joke? Oh, Marlowe, have a heart. Where are you going?
Back to my client, little dreamer. I think you can give me a line on that partner. Be good. I was an hour plus driving slowly back to the transplanted world on Crestline Drive, and all the way I kept adding and subtracting all the screwball figures I'd run into, hoping that someplace I'd find a mistake. But when I was there through the junior jungle and standing at the front door, I knew that my hunch was right.
Marlowe, you got the sword?
The sword and sheath alike, Mr. Pound, are in my car. Also, I got news. Tedesco's dead.
I'm not sorry.
So is Turner.
I don't know any Turner, but why haven't you brought the sword and sheath in with you?
Because they don't count, Mr. Pound. There wasn't any code in the pattern on either one. The answer was a slip of paper jammed down in the sheath. Here. Is that what we're after?
Let me see. Yes, Marlowe, this is it. Oh, I knew he wouldn't fail me. I knew Boss was loyal. I knew it.
Oh, better than that, Mr. Pound. You counted on it. And don't move a finger, Happy. It's a great night for killing. Now go on. Into the study. We're going to use the phone.
But, Marlowe, you're insane.
Sure I am. So much so that I let the hairs from an affectionate Siamese cat change my mind. About everything. Keep moving.
The cat? What do you mean?
I mean the Turner who shot Eugene Voss in Manila, who murdered Babesco out at the beach, who I just killed before he could kill me, had white hairs from a molting white Siamese cat all over his suit. The same kind of white hairs I got on mine when Shoo-Shoo rubbed against me. Now go on, open that door. In other words, Pound Turner was a friend here, not foe, and from there on in, it all figures. Or do you still think I'm insane?
Yes, No, Marlowe, you're right.
You bet I'm right.
Turner was in this with me. A partner, you might say. You see, I knew that Eugene Voss was worried about competitors.
Like Babesco, go on.
Well, I knew that Voss would see I got his clients' list, the pearl dealers, if his life was really in danger.
That gave you a brilliant idea. Put his life in danger. So you sent Turner to Manila to kill Voss once the list was on its way. Oh, how neat. But tell me, clean cut, why didn't you let Turner know about the sword at once?
Because he was tricked. Voss planted a fake list at his hotel, hoping that Turner would find it and go his merry way, which Turner did. He didn't know it was fake until he arrived here this morning.
Which, of course, didn't affect the scheduled murder. Nice and thorough, aren't you? Or have you left out some little detail I should know, like why you bothered having Turner get mixed up in this at all tonight? I would have brought the sword and sheath back for you without him.
I know you would, Marlowe. That's why I hurried you. But I also knew that there was a good chance that in finding the sword, you would also find that I deal in opium, not pearl.
Oh, fine. And Turner was right behind me all the way, ready to kill me if I found that out from say, Babesco, huh?
Precisely. Turner was right behind you, Marlowe, even as Heidecky is right behind you now in the dark. You fool. Why do you think I kept talking here, kept confessing? Speak up, Heidecky. Heidecky, talk!
He can't, Mr. Pound.
What?
Heidecky is very unconscious.
He's what?
I hit him with the face. A Philippine
No,
Island base.
no, you're lying! Heidecky!
Hold it, Pound!
Oh, my leg!
Oh. Marlowe, you've got him. Marlowe!
What's the matter?
Behind the curtain.
There's nothing there, honey. Nothing more than a friendly cat named Shoo-Shoo.
Oh.
It took a long time. It always does. But finally, the police in Los Angeles and the police in Manila knew exactly who had done what to whom and why. All of which left Henry Pound, the vicious little character who wouldn't even recognize honor among thieves, with a short, unpleasant future. And I thought about him and every rotten thing he'd done as I walked through his imported island jungle to my car. Thought about him and Babesco, about Turner, the houseboy, about Eugene Voss, and I didn't think about Claire Saunders until I got to my car. Was in behind the wheel, headlights on. The words were written in lipstick the length and breadth of my windshield.
Still, dear, I stepped out when nobody was looking. But don't fret. Because from here on out, I'm going to be very good. I've learned my lesson. P.S. My plane doesn't leave until morning. Would you like to help me wait
for it at the airport cafe. They have good food and they're open all night. Claire. Airport cafe. an hour's drive. Unless I hurry.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, bringing you Raymond Chandler's most famous character, star Gerald Moore, are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and are written for radio by Robert Mitchell and Gene Levitt. Gerald Moore can currently be seen starring in Republic's The Blonde Bandit. Featured in our cast were Gene Bates, Junius Matthews, Barney Phillips, Byron Kane, Paul Frees, and Anthony Barrett. The special music is composed and conducted by Richard Arant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
This time an old Spanish woman who cared, a redhead and a mink who didn't, and a green suede button beside a corpse, all led me to a wounded man with a gun in his hand, cornered on a warehouse roof.
Now, stay tuned for Pursuit, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where Burns and Allen are heard every Wednesday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Broadway's my beat. From Times Square to Columbus Circle, the gaudiest, the most violent, the lonesomest mile in the world.
Broadway's My Beat, with Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
Broadway. On Christmas Eve, Broadway's natives danced their Christmas dance to the music of carols flowing out of tinseled loudspeakers. The kids mashed their noses against plate glass, lick it, and watched the mechanical clown, the mechanized tour army, the tin man dancing a jig on a tin box, and their eyes are dark with desire and hunger. They make a wish on a neon star. That's how it is on Christmas Eve on Broadway. My beat. On the morning of the day before Christmas, creatures are stirring at police headquarters. There's the patter of tired feet and the sound of manly giggles as little gifts are hidden in desk drawers or poured into Dixie cups or slipped under the police blotter. And in my office, there's a kid I knew, name of Marty Wednick.
Danny, I don't like to disturb you at this unmentionable hour.
10 o'clock in the morning, unmentionable?
You kidding? Sleep has not yet fled from my starry eyes. What makes me bounce my pillow at an hour which is for the squares is a problem.
What's your problem, Marty?
Am I or am I not the child president of your branch of the Police Athletic League?
You are?
So I promised my constituency of fellow former delinquents a Santa Claus for Christmas. That's the problem. When are you going to give with a Santa Claus? Don't laugh, Danny. A former delinquent shouldn't be disillusioned. Could make him a neurotic. So I repeat, on behalf of my constituents, where is Santa Claus?
He'll be here in a minute, Marty. Sergeant Tartaglia... Oh, here he is. Come on in, Sergeant.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what
This guy's a sergeant?
Huh? Hey, Tartaglia, this is Marty Wednick. He wants Santa Claus.
Oh, he's coming, Danny, he's coming. Come on in, Sandy. Everybody, make way, everybody, for Santa Claus.
And what's your alias, name, little boy? Ho, ho, ha. Hey.
This guy's a Santa Claus.
Who's the kid? The punk, Danny. Who is he?
Marty Wednick, that's who I am. So you're Santa Claus, huh? Audition me something.
What? Why, you crummy
Take your hands off me, Santa Claus. Is this the Christmas spirit?
I'll give it to you in the mouth, fresh kid.
You and how many
Hey,
rings?
now, wait a minute, you two. Marty, this is Nick Norman.
Nick Norman, the ex-con?
How do you like this monster? For 15 years, I've been playing Santa Claus at Sing Sing with no complaints, mind you. The first day I am a free civilian playing me old part, the squirt gives me the hook. I resigned from Santa Claus. I didn't get treatment like this even from the guards.
Take it easy, Nick. Marty didn't mean it. Did you, Marty?
How was I to know that Santa Claus here was the world-famous light-fingered safecracker?
Ex-light-fingered, world-famous safecracker, you.
Well, does he meet with your approval, Marty?
Well, the costume is sloppy, the beard's moth-eaten, but yeah, he'll do.
Don't do me no favors, punk.
You want to know something, Nick?
What's something?
I like you. I think you are the best Santa Claus it has ever been my privilege to present to my constituents of the PAL. This is from the heart, Nick.
Oh, that's better. You gotta show respect for Santa Claus. What time's your party?
8 o'clock tonight. You'll be there?
I'll be there.
Well, so long, Danny, Sergeant, Santa Claus. See you at the party. Merry Christmas.
That's a good kid. Appreciates the finer things.
Feels good to be out, huh, Nick?
15 years is a long night without sleep, Danny. Yeah, feels good. And thanks for the job of Santa Claus. I would miss it after all these years.
And the deal we made. That feels good, too, huh?
Oh, yeah, the deal, sure, Danny. I'll keep my promise to you.
That's good. You won't forget what happened 15 years ago on Christmas Eve.
How can I forget it was like today? I was all dressed up like Santa Claus. I had a few idle hours, and right in front of me there just happened to be an idle safe. So I cracked it. So I got caught.
Uh-huh. Now, what are you going to do now, between now and 8 o'clock, the time the party starts?
Walk the thoroughfares and wish everybody joyous tidings and pat kids on the head.
And leave their mothers' purses alone.
Oh, Danny, how can you talk to Santa Claus that way? I promised you that...
Sure you did. Hey, Tartaglia.
Yeah, Danny.
Tag along with Santa Claus. Fresh air will do you both good.
Oh, gee, thanks, Danny, thanks. You know, the fresh air will do us both good.
Yeah, but hold his hand, Tartaglia, so he won't get lost. We don't want him to get lost, do we?
Oh, no, Danny.
No, because what's Christmas without Santa Claus? Have fun, boys. So everybody was happy, and that was good, because it was a season for it. Sergeant Tartaglia was happy because I had not only given him permission to leave the room, I told him to go out and take a walk with Santa Claus. And everyone knows that Santa Claus is always happy, even if once upon a time he had to spread his glad tidings around Sing Sing. I considered it a while, and then I decided to inhale the bloom of Christmas as it filtered through police headquarters. And it made me feel happy, too. It lasted for 2 inhales.
Sign on the door says Lieutenant Danny Clover. I don't believe in signs. What's your name?
What's yours?
I came prepared for a question like that. Here's my card.
Thanks. Simon Larrabee, real estate and rentals. You renting something, Mr. Larrabee?
That would give you the upper hand. 2 questions to my 1. And you haven't answered it yet.
Danny Clover, like the sign says. That's my name.
You're quite right. I am renting something.
Go ahead. Rent away. I like to watch.
I'm doing it now. Just looking at you. I'm renting that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
Well, if it makes you happy... Wait a minute. That's our clubhouse. That's where the kids are having our Christmas party.
Are you?
What's the...
What else can it be? Where's the rent?
Rent for what?
Rent for that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
You mean it hasn't been paid? How much is it?
It's $62.50 a month. Oh, that includes utilities.
I'll pay it. The club's treasurer will reimburse me.
You don't understand, Mr. Clover. When I rent something, I get a year's rent in advance. That comes to $750. And I want it before there's any party there.
Are you kidding? Why are those kids going to get money like that?
Well, I'll give you until 8 o'clock to get the money, and I'll just sit right here until then.
All right. Grab yourself a police gazette.
Never touch the stuff.
Suit yourself. Oh, excuse me, Simon. Danny Clover speaking.
Danny, this is Patrolman Curcio.
Yeah, what is it? I can hardly hear you, Curcio.
Yeah, well, no wonder. Listen when I got a dog, so listen, Danny. Hey, you see what I mean?
Why the sirens? What's the trouble?
Sergeant Tartaglia is up a tree.
What?
Sergeant Tartaglia is in a tree on the Avenue A playground, Danny. He flipped his lid. He's telling anyone that'll listen that there ain't no Santa Claus. Hey, you better come on down, Danny.
When I got down to the Avenue A playground, it was having the Christmas party of its life. A 30-foot tree, complete with tinsel, candy canes, colored popcorn balls, firemen, and a scared sergeant policeman, forlorn and lost, pinned to its top branch. The fire department finally convinced Tartaglia that a ladder was a safe invention for getting down on a tall tree. At the bottom rung, he almost believed it. When his feet touched the ground, they gave him a blanket because he was suffering from shock. He was about to tell the newsreel boys his ordeal when I faced him.
Oh, Danny, I was about to tell the Newsreel boys my ordeal.
Well, just tell me first, Tartaglia, because I hardly ever get to the movies.
I'll be with you in just a minute, sir. Oh, Danny, it was awful. It was something awful.
I only ask this because there's so much about you I don't know, Tartaglia. Why do you climb trees?
Oh, I don't, Danny. The height scares me. When I was a child, a tree threw me on the ground.
Still, you climb this tree. Why?
Oh, because I'm a policeman.
That makes sense. But how?
Well, sure it does, Danny. The kids see me, I am a policeman. They need to put a star on top of their Christmas tree. They ask me because I am a policeman and can do such things. I couldn't let the department down, Danny.
So you leave Nick Norman alone, all by himself, because you don't want to let the department down.
Oh, I knew you would say that. But I trusted Nick, because he is Santa Claus. He told me I could trust him.
Sure you can, Tartaglia. But what happened to Santa Claus? He's not around.
That's right. There ain't no Santa Claus, like I've been saying.
They told me you were saying that. What happened to him, Tartaglia?
Well, Danny, whilst I was up in the tree pinning the star, below me I saw a big black bulletproof sedan.
What kind?
A big black bulletproof sedan.
Now I know. Then what happened?
Well, this big black bulletproof sedan stopped by Nick, our Santa Claus. Two men got out, talked to him for a minute, then took him one by each arm, deposited them in the car, closed the door, and away they sped careening on two wheels. I yelled to them to stop, Danny. But I guess they didn't hear me on account of the hustle and bustle.
How's Santa Claus, Tartaglia? Where is he? Where'd he go?
Well, if I was Santa Claus, I know where I'd go.
Not that it matters, but where?
Well, to my mother. On Christmas Eve, she deserves something like that.
I'm sure she does.
So we have you now, Sergeant Tartaglia?
I'll make good in the newsreels, Tartaglia. This may be your big chance.
Yeah?
Are you Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I'm Danny Clover.
Yeah?
May I come in, Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I want to talk to you.
About what?
About Nick, about your son.
Come in.
Thanks.
In here, in the parlor. Sit down.
Thank you.
No, not on that seat. That one. What do you want to talk about Nick?
Do you know where he is?
Oh, don't tell me no more. One day when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me, he said, Ma, don't ask me where I've been no more, 'cause I'll lie to you. That's what he said.
Then you don't know where he is.
Don't make me go through that again, Sonny. Say, who are you to ask me questions?
I told you I was...
Yeah, you did. You said you're Danny Clover. That don't mean nothing to me. Oh, you must be the guy come about,
I am. That's why I came.
Well, you tell me. What you come here for?
For, you know, just as you said.
Oh, this I like. This lets me play cagey like in the old days. What are you talking about?
You know your son, Nick.
You got to squirm more than that, kiddo. What about Nick?
We want him to be our Santa Claus.
Bingo.
That's good.
Oh, it must be a good feeling, a young man like you. Big, strong, looking for Santa Claus. Me? I just sit in my rocking chair.
Mrs. Norman.
Thinking about the times we had. Me and Big Ed, my husband. The time...
I have to go now, Mrs. Norman. Where's your son?
Oh, you made me go through it again. One day, when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me...
Yeah, oh, thanks,
Ma,
Mrs. Norman.
don't ask me where I've been.
Hi, Danny. Did you find Santa Claus?
No, Tartaglia. What are you doing about it?
Me? Nothing.
That's good. Anyone to see me?
Yeah, in your office. Hey, Danny, well, what are you angry at me for, huh, Danny?
Hey, Danny, what's this I hear about Santa Claus taking a powder?
You'll get your Santa Claus, Marty. You still here, Simon Larrabee?
Yes, I'm waiting. Just as I told you, I'm waiting for my 750 rent.
Can you imagine this kind of Danny? On Christmas Eve, he wants his rent. This is a Christmas, no Santa Claus, no party. What am I going to tell my constituents?
It'll work out, Marty. We'll get the money someplace. Shut up, Simon.
But, Danny, no Santa Claus.
Hold it, everybody. I've got the solution. Communications, this is Sergeant Tartaglia in Danny Clover's office. An all-points bulletin. Pickup man. Description as follows. Height, 5 feet 11. Weight, 235. When last seen, was wearing a red suit, a red hat with bells, and black boots. Identifying marks. Has a long, snow-white beard. What's his name? Santa Claus!
You are listening to Broadway's My Beat, starring Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover. $51,000 in cash and wonderful prizes. Danny Seymour might play Santa Claus to you tonight, and he might fill up your stockings with that $51,000 if you can identify the phantom voice. Listen in just a little later tonight to Sing It Again.
Broadway brings you Christmas in a lot of ways. You get dribbled around by the opposing teams of last-minute shoppers. You ride backwards on up escalators so you can be in a good position for the down escalators. You get mauled and shoved and picked over. And finally, you get gift-wrapped and sent on your way. My way was out to lunch and back to police headquarters, holding my Christmas stocking in my hand. I had two things, no rent and no Santa Claus. Two nothings, which made for an empty holiday. Sergeant Tartaglia wasn't enjoying himself either, and he expressed himself with sentiment.
Ah, humbug.
What did you say, Tartaglia?
Bah, humbug, Danny. That's a Christmas expression I picked up to be used when you wished it was the 4th of July instead.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you seen the afternoon papers, Danny? Yeah, take a look at it.
You look at it for me. What does it say?
Well, first it has got a picture on the front page of a tree. In the tree is me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says under it, Officer Gino Tartaglia. Yeah, hey, Danny, they spelled it right. Well, Officer Tartaglia spent the afternoon cavorting in a tree to the delight and applause of all the little... Oh, it runs on like that.
Oh, forget it. It wasn't your fault.
Then that's what I tried to tell Mrs. Tartaglia.
Doesn't she believe you?
Danny, she called me on the phone. I said, hello? She said, Signor Tarzan. Then she started laughing, hysterical. I can't get her to talk. Every time I pick up my phone, all I hear is Mrs. Tartaglia laughing.
Well, I got my problems, too.
Yeah, this is probably the first time in the history of Santa Claus that he's ever heisted from his appointed rounds.
Maybe. Hey, did you get in touch with Nick's mother again, like I told you?
Oh, Danny, she ain't nowhere to be found. The old day must have skipped. And the 200 Santa Clauses that the boys investigated, not one of these is Nick Norman under the beard. I'll get it, Danny.
Thanks.
Sergeant Tartaglia. Huh? Yeah, he's here. It's for you, Danny.
Thank you. Danny Clover speaking.
Danny, this is Maxie. You know, Maxine Riddell.
Yeah, how are you, Maxie?
I'm in lingerie, Danny. Come on down.
What?
In the lingerie department at Fletcher's department store. Working. I got news for you. News about Nick Norman. You interested, Danny?
Yeah, I am. Hold on to everything, Maxie. I'll be right down.
Here, mister. Take this black nightgown over to that girl over there. She'll just wrap it up. Hi, Danny. How am I doing?
Great, Maxie. Only great. How long you been working here?
Only for the Christmas season, Danny. But the way I've been operating, I think maybe they'll keep me on.
No questions about your background?
You mean about me being a shoplifter?
Uh-huh.
That's the reason I got the job. The way I was lifting things, I told them it'd be cheaper for them if they put me on the sales force. So they did. So for $22 a week, I'm an honest mouse. Anyway, it's steady.
Keep it that way, huh, Maxie?
Anything you say, Danny. Well, now that we've had our tea, I guess you want to know about Nick.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart to be a stoolie. You know how it is, Danny. Me with my former alliances.
But it's different now.
Yeah, different. I want it to be different for Tussie, too. You remember how it was between me and Tussie.
How was it?
It was gorgeous. That's why I'm being a pigeon, Danny. If Nick made up his mind to be a kosher citizen, he should stick to it. Not fall back into the arms of a mob like a doll who says mama.
Which mob, Maxie?
Tussie Khan. Such a name for a gorilla. Tussie. How do you figure a name like that?
I don't know him. Where do I find him?
Tussie just got back from Chicago. He bought the Domino Club. I happened to be passing there on my lunch hour, and I saw Nick in a Santa Claus suit drinking grape juice with Tussie. Oh, excuse me, Danny, a customer. Yes, madam.
something for yourself?
Thanks, Maxie.
For what? We have some gorgeous outside girdles, Madam, for everyday wear. They're right over here.
The Domino Club in the West 50s is a bright and shiny joint plastered with black glass. It stands close to the ground between two peeling brownstones. When you walk into it, you have the feeling you're walking into the mouth of a beetle. Its walls are lined with black mirrors, and its ceiling is draped with folds of scarlet silk. And at 6 o'clock of a Christmas Eve, the boys, complete with Christmas-wrapped girls, are beginning to gather. You ask a busboy in white tie and tails, where's Tussy Carnes? And he lifts an eyebrow to a guy standing near the bandstand. A guy grinning like an alley cat, while a girl pins a sprig of mistletoe to his lapel. You wait till she kisses Tussy. Then Tussy kisses her. But his eyes are open and flicking around the joint, so he sees you and pushes the girl away.
Beat it, Blitzen, I got company. Merry Christmas, stranger. You want something from Tussy Boy?
Same to you. And I want Nick Norman.
Oh, that's a big desire on a holiday. What you want, Nick? Tell Tussy Boy.
Maybe I gotta explain. I'm Danny Clover, a cop. I want him.
Don't everybody? Come with me, Sonny. Santa's right down at the end of this hall. Merry Christmas, Melvin.
Ain't it though, Tussy?
Merry Christmas, George.
Likewise, I'm sure.
I brought you a present, boys.
Goody.
Likewise.
Where's Nick Norman?
This fella here, he says to Tussy Boy he wants Nick Norman, our Santa Claus.
Uh-oh. What big eyes you have, mister.
And you know something else that's plain precious, boys?
No. Do tell us, Tussy.
The fella says he is a cop. Isn't that cute, huh?
I could die.
Yeah. So show the fella Santa Claus, huh, fellas? Merry Christmas, Danny Clover. Oh, Tussy Boy said that, didn't he?
Stay away from me.
But first we want to wish you on a star. Like that.
You too crazy. Stay away from me.
I think that was not enough stars. I'll give him another package.
You know that Tussy is good to us. He gave us the best Christmas present two fellas could ever have.
Don't be greedy, Melvin. Leave some for me. Oh, look at that. It's all gone.
Come on, Danny, open your eyes.
What?
Yeah, open your eyes, Danny. It's getting late. Ain't you heard? Christmas is coming.
Hey, it's you, Nick Norman.
Oh, Danny, call me Sandy Claus. That's the nicest alias I got.
Now, look, Nick, I'm going to...
Oh, here, I'll help you up, Danny. Sit on the edge of the sofa there. Yeah. Sandy Claus, Danny.
Santa Claus, huh?
Sure.
So help me, Nick, where I'm going to put you, you'll spend the next 94 Christmases in solitary.
Take it easy, Danny. Come on, let's get out of here. I'll be late for that kid's party. Come on.
Oh, you mean let's get out of here just like that? I don't have to beat my way out of here?
What for?
What's all this about, Nick, Santa Claus?
You're adult today, Danny. What's the matter with you?
But you were kidnapped.
Kidnapped? Me? Who would want to do a thing like that to jolly old me?
A man in a tree said two guys pushed you into a car. He only had a bird's eye view, but he said kidnapped.
Oh, you mean Melvin and George?
I mean Melvin and George.
Two pals from Chicago, Daddy. They heard I was out and wanted I should be Santa Claus to a private party they was giving. That's all. Harmless guys. Pals. Buddies. We enjoy each other.
Yeah, they enjoyed me, too.
Before they left town for this party, they said to tell you... Oh, wait a minute. I wrote it down. It says, Dear Danny Clover, sorry we made a mistake and beat up your head. May the bells ring a joyous Noel for you. Signed, XX. That's Melvin and George.
A mistake, huh?
Sure. They knew some mob or other might try to get me as Santa Claus. They figured you was a mob, so they protected me from you, like you was fibbing about being a cop. After they walloped you unconscious, they went through your pockets and saw you was really a cop. So they wrote this note. The running ink you see here on the note, Danny, that's tears. You'll forgive him, won't you, Danny?
Yeah. How about your mother?
Oh, that was your error, Danny. You didn't tell Mom you was from the police, so she thought just like Melvin and George.
Gave me the double talk.
Yeah, that's my mom. A grand old dame. You know what I told her once when I was 9 years old?
Yeah, no, my sleigh's outside. I'll give you a ride back to my office.
Well, that means the whole thing was an error in identification and motive, as they say, huh, Danny?
That's right. Isn't that right, Santa?
Sure. I'll tell it to you again if you want.
No, never mind. What happened to Simon Larrabee?
Oh, he went out for a feast of spud nuts and coffee.
Hey, you don't look very happy, Tartaglia.
No, Danny. I ain't happy. Unhappy. Very.
What's the matter? We've got Santa Claus? Come on, smile. It's going to be a fine Christmas.
I can't, Danny. I just can't. It's Mrs. Tartaglia. Yeah, now she ain't laughing anymore. The neighbors are laughing and Mrs. Tartaglia is crying.
Why?
Well, the later editions of the paper said that Santa Claus was heisted. It was because I was in a tree. Yeah, the papers say I, single-handed, messed up Christmas.
Bad as that, huh? Well, I'll tell you, Tartaglia.
Hey, what about my Christmas party?
Not yet, Santa. Wait till you get to the party.
Say, the press was saying that you were snatched, Sandy. What gives? It said that mobsters grabbed you.
No, it was just a little misunderstanding.
That's right, Marty. Nick was grabbed by mobsters.
Huh?
Yeah, well, then how'd you get away?
Sergeant Tartaglia.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Sergeant Tartaglia. The kind of policeman who tracks down criminals to the lair.
I am, Danny?
The kind that single-handed rescued Santa Claus from the jaws of disaster.
This guy did that?
Yep. I'm just about to call the press boys and tell them about it.
Oh, Danny.
I mean it, Tartaglia. Don't be so modest. I'm going to do just that.
Danny.
Put Marty in a cab, Tartaglia. I'll send Santa down the squad car in a little while.
Yeah, sure. Well, come on, little tyke. Marty.
Okay. Merry Christmas, Danny.
Whatever you tell the press guys, Danny, I'll swear to it.
Sure you will.
Yeah, that's the fine Christmas you're giving everybody, Danny. How about yourself?
Well, I'll have fun at the party. I always do.
Where is it? Where's my money?
Oh, look, Mr. Larrabee, it's Christmas.
Of course, it's Christmas. That's why I want my rent, so I can have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, Danny, who is this guy that needs rent to have a Merry Christmas?
This is Simon Larrabee. He wants a year's rent in advance for that warehouse where the kids are having a party. Or else, no party.
Yes, that's who I am.
Oh, like that, huh? So that's how you are, huh, Simon?
Stop breathing in my face, Santa Claus.
All them kids wanting to have a party, and a Simon like you wants to louse it up.
I'll put him down, Nick.
Yes,
I ain't doing nothing, Danny. Just holding Simon up so I can breathe in his face.
Please.
I want you to think about something, Simon. Think about all those kids that are looking forward to their Christmas party, which ain't going to happen on account of you. Think about
All right,
it.
I'm thinking, yes.
Maybe you could think better with a pen in your hand, Simon.
Yes,
A pen that will write out a receipt for a year's rent in advance. Huh, Simon?
Of course. Oh, Christmas spirit and all that. Yes, I'll get my receipt book. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Well, I haven't felt so good in years. Yes, here you are, Mr. Glover. A receipt for a year's rent in advance. And tell the darlings, Merry Christmas with her.
Yeah, I will.
Ain't he a nice fella, Danny? Come on, nice fella. I'll take you to a party. Merry Christmas, Danny.
It's a Merry Christmas, Danny.
Merry Christmas. Yep. Merry Christmas. On Christmas Eve, Broadway is almost like any other place in the world. The bells ring out, the horns blow, there's laughter. The Mazdas on the Translux spell out slowly, word by word, peace on earth, goodwill to men. And you read it, you believe it. Because on Christmas Eve, you believe a miracle. Then a whirl of confetti is in your eyes, and you're pushed along with the crowd, and you never see the next news bulletin. You don't try to look back. It's Broadway, the merriest, the shiniest, the lonesomest mile in the world. Broadway, my beach.
Broadway's My Beat stars Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover and is written by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The musical score was composed by Alexander Courage and conducted by Wilbur Hatch, and the program was produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. The cast tonight included Charles Calvert, Gil Stratton Jr., Howard McNear, Hal March, Bert Holland, Shep Menken, Estelle Dodge, and Peggy Weber. On Christmas afternoon, Jack Benny will be heard as guest star in a full one-hour version of the comedy The Man Who Came to Dinner. Charles Boyer, Gregory Peck, Rosalind Russell, Dorothy McGuire, Henry Fonda, John Garfield, and Gene Kelly will be starring alongside Jack in this special holiday hour. Then an hour later, Jack will be back with his own Sunday night gang for 30 more minutes of holiday hilarity. In fact, the best idea really is stay tuned to CBS all day Christmas Day. Now stay tuned for Sing It Again, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. Joe Walters speaking. This is CBS, where you'll find Broadway is My Beat every Saturday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From New York, Pillsbury's best enriched flour brings you Grand Central Station.
Part of our great country are aimed at Grand Central Station, heart of the nation's greatest city. Drawn by the magnetic force of fantastic metropolis, day and night great trains rush from the Hudson River. Sweep down a Houston bank for 140 miles. Flash briefly with the long road terminals south of 125th Street. Dive with a roar into the 1.5 mile tunnel which burrows into the bitter and swank of Park Avenue. And then, Grand Central Station. Crossroads of a million private lives. Gigantic stage in which are played 1,000 drama stages. Now, for the 6th consecutive year, Pillsbury Mills of Minneapolis presents with pride Grand Central Station's traditional Christmas play. A drama you will long remember.
This is Galen Drake. And before we get into our Christmas story, I want to say just a word about the 3 top prize-winning recipes in Pillsbury's Grand National Recipe and Baking Contest. The grand prize was awarded for a recipe for Pillsbury's $50,000 no-knead water-rising twists. The second prize of $10,000 was for Starlight Mint Surprise Cookies. And the third prize of $4,000 was for a chocolate cake, Aunt Carrie's Bon Cake. Now, there's $64,000 worth of prize-winning recipes. Recipes won with Pillsbury's best flour. Now, as you know, you always bake your best with Pillsbury's best, and we have those 3 recipes ready for you now, and we'll be glad to send them to you. You just drop a penny postcard to Ann Pillsbury, Prize Recipe Department, Minneapolis 2, Minnesota, and she'll send you your copy. Ann Pillsbury, Prize Recipe Department, Minneapolis 2, Minnesota.
After the train from Albany pulled in, no one, not a single person, actually saw the young man with soft brown hair and soft brown eyes come through the gate. Still unseen, he walks the length of the great waiting room, now strangely tranquil as travel ebbs on Christmas Eve. Quietly, he goes out the door, down the street, and then up the broad marble stairs of the hospital. When the girl at the switchboard turns to him...
What can I do for you, sir?
Without saying a word, he gives her a card. She's startled by the name on it and instantly announces him to the hospital superintendent.
Dr. Mason is here to see you.
Mason? Dr. Mason who applied for an internship?
Yes, Dr. Garrett, it is Dr. Mason from Albany.
But that's impossible.
Shall I ask him about the telegram?
No, I'll do it. Send him in, please.
Yes, sir. Dr. Garrett will see you, sir. First door to the left.
Dr. Garrett. Dr. Mason? You are Dr. Mason?
I'm sorry that I was delayed, Dr. Garrett.
But just 10 minutes ago,
Yes. 10 minutes ago, you received a telegram.
Why, that's right.
I know.
From your mother.
I know.
But, man, Why, look at it. It says that you...
That I was killed. Do you mind if I tear up that telegram, Dr. Garrett?
Well, I don't understand. I was so unnerved by that wire. I counted so much on your being here tonight. Christmas Eve. A night always busy with calls.
You are short of interns.
Oh, yes. Mason, these are the slums. Walk through block after block and you won't see a doctor shingle. Not one. The people here are too poor. They know only one healer. The intern and his ambulance.
And tonight, night of mercy and goodwill, they would have cried out in vain.
Well, now that you've come, I won't have to say to the suffering, wait. There's only one ambulance tonight, and that's out on a call. Wait and suffer. I have no one to send to you because Dr. Mason was killed. It's good that you're here, Mason. It's good.
It's good to be here, Dr. Garrett.
Well, you better get started. Take this slip down to the storeroom. See that they give you a warm sheepskin coat.
Thank you.
And a pair of mittens. From there, you go to the ambulance room. I'll have your driver waiting for you. His name is Mac.
My name is Mac. The chief says I drive your crate tonight.
Crate?
Crate, jalopy, sick buggy, ambulance, take your pick.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You green interns, you're all the same. The first time you spy an ambulance, your eyes pop wide, like you've seen a heavenly chariot or something. Not me. I've been driving this old baby for 8 rotten years.
An ambulance, Mac, is a sacred thing. It is a chariot of mercy.
2 bells, that says. Come on, Mason, that's your first call.
234 South Street. 234 South Street. 234 South Street.
Look, pal, help me out by watching out for cars cutting in at the cross streets. We don't stop for no red lights. Look, Doc, what did I tell you? Watch it or we'll both be killed. Holy cow, you new interns. You're all alike. You're always dreaming. You put on the white coat and pants and your head goes up in the clouds.
Why are you so bitter, Mac?
Why shouldn't I be bitter? It wasn't for you, I'd be home with the wife right now.
You truly believe that only because of me?
Yeah. If you hadn't showed up, this ambulance would be parked in the garage, for crying out loud. I would have had the night off like on a decent job.
To you, driving an ambulance is just a job like any other?
Yeah, nothing but. Boy, will I be glad when the shift is over.
But, Mac, this is Christmas Eve.
You're telling me?
This is one night at least you could forget that driving an ambulance is a job. This one night you could look upon it as an errand of mercy.
An errand of mercy? You know where we're going?
To help someone afflicted.
Afflicted with alcohol, you mean? I'll give you 2 to 1 and we're making a stew call.
Stew call?
Yeah, Mason. We're risking our necks tearing through traffic to give some drunk a whiff of smelling salts.
Any man who cries out for help, whether he be brimful of drink or empty of blood, his call shall be answered.
Yes, you. Take a snack. We ain't got all night. What did I tell you? No good drunk. Here's your bag, Doc.
Thank you, Mac. I won't need it.
But he's out cold, Mason. Come on, give him a whiff of the stuff quick when we blow.
Quiet, Mac. Come now. Open your eyes, sir.
He calls the drunk, sir. Look, Mason, here's the spirit of ammonia. Hold it under his nose, will you? That always wakes him up.
Quiet, Mac. Come, sir. Open your eyes.
That's right, Mason. You just talk pretty to him and he'll open his eyes.
Where am I? Why is everybody laughing? What's the matter?
Nothing. Just put your arm around my shoulder. That's it. Now, let me help you to stand up straight. There. Now, you feel better?
Why, suddenly I feel all right. I feel fine. My head is so clear.
Of course. All you needed was to stand on your own 2 feet. To be strong. Be of good cheer.
Gosh, Doc, that's sure wonderful medicine you give me.
Medicine? What kind of gag you pulling? He didn't give you no medicine. There was nothing the matter with you. You toss off a beer and you lay down in the street like you're out cold and we waste an ambulance on you. I got a mind to take a poke at you.
That'll be enough, Mac. Tell me, sir, what is your name?
Well, if it's all the same to you...
Come on. Give me your name. He's got to make out his report.
Pete Lanton, Doctor.
Peter, you won't lose faith again. You will stand up, self-reliant, and you will face life courageously and with new hope.
Come on, Mason. We ain't got all night. Let's get going.
Doc.
Yes, Peter?
A Merry Christmas to you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Mason, I'd like to speak to you.
Yes?
Mason, Mac tells me you didn't even open your bag on your first call.
No, it wasn't necessary.
Well, now, don't misunderstand me, Mason. I can't begin to tell you how thankful I am that you're with us this evening, but...
But from now on, I'm not to use suggestion.
Or whatever it was you did use. Please follow standard materia medica in treating your cases. You're not offended?
Of course not.
Oh, that's fine, Dr. Mason. That's your call again.
Third floor. 19 Water Street, third floor. 19 Water Street, third floor.
Well, Mac, you seem to be good at guessing. You were right the last time. What sort of call is this one going to be?
There's no guessing, it's experience. This time it's no drunk.
Oh? What do you think it is?
A bird. Or maybe a debt.
Christmas Eve. And someone is to live or die. It is better that one should live on Christmas Eve. Mac, let it be a birth we're going to.
No difference to me, Doc. A birth or a debt. I just try.
How long have you been doing it, Mac?
Oh, like I told you. 8 rotten years, that's how long.
What you call 8 rotten years were truly 8 glorious years, filled with service to your fellow men.
Cut the chatter, Mason. This is it. Number 19 is red brick house upstairs. Come on, make a snap here. 3rd floor rear.
Doctor, here!
Keep your shirt on, we're coming.
Even if you hurry. Doctor.
Tears on Christmas Eve, young man.
I'm afraid you're too late.
You thought it'd be a birthday. You're wrong, Mason. It sure looks
Wait,
like...
Mac. Don't say it. No. Perhaps we're not too late. Tell me, how is the mother?
She's all right. But our baby...
Yes, your baby.
Crippled. Terribly crippled. We prayed for our child to be born on Christmas Eve. We thought we'd be so happy tonight.
Come now, come. No tears. Not on Christmas Eve. I'll have a look at the infant. Wait here.
Make it snappy, Mason. Doc Garrett's always nervous when all the ambulances are out. It's only 9 o'clock. Hey, what's the idea of bringing the kid out here?
Oh, let me hold him, Doctor, please.
Of course. There you are. Ah, the child knows his father.
Yes, he knows me. He knows me. But he'll hate me when he's old enough to realize it. Doctor.
Yes?
His arms. His arms.
What about the kid's arms?
They're straight. Straight as arrows.
So what?
But before they were terribly twisted. Both his arms were terribly crippled.
You can see for yourself the child is normal.
But I tell you, before when I looked at, I swear they were twisted. And now...
You were under great tension. Perhaps your imagination...
Yes. Oh, my little son. Aren't his tiny fingers so tiny?
And now go in and tell your wife truthfully that her baby is normal in every way. Show her.
Yes.
You both look forward to a happy Christmas Eve. It is. Remember, tears are not for Christmas Eve.
Hey. Come on, Mason. Forget all that good fairy stuff. This fella's hopped up enough as is. Let's go.
Yes, Mac.
Oh, Doctor.
Yes?
Merry Christmas, Doctor.
Thank you. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Mason! Dr. Mason!
Yes, Dr. Garrett, you've been looking for
Yes,
me?
sir.
471 only one bell. Go on, Dr. Garrett.
Well, I must speak to you, Mason, about the telegram.
Yes?
The telegram which said that Dr. Mason was killed. The one you said was a mistake.
Did I, Dr. Garrett?
I've just spoken to the sender of that telegram. I have just finished talking to Dr. Mason's mother on the long-distance telephone.
That's my call. I'm sorry, I must go, Doctor.
Now, wait, man, wait. I want to talk to you. Listen to me, please. Dr. Mason was killed. Do you hear? 3 hours before you walked into my office, he was killed while driving to the Albany Railroad Station. And his mother saw him die.
Well, Mac, what is this call going to be? A birth or a death?
I don't know, Mason, but I don't like this one. There's something about this call that give me a funny chill all of a sudden.
Because it's in your neighborhood?
What do you think this call is going to be?
Because it is your wife.
Ellie!
Is this job a rotten job, Mac? Now that you can rush a doctor to her side? Is this ambulance still a crate? Now that it's speeding to answer your own wife's cry of pain?
Stop that kind of talk, will you? You're trying to make me think something's happened, Ellie. I ain't afraid. I'll say it again. Yeah, driving this crate is still a job, and a bum one at that.
And the 8 years...
Rotten years, wasted years. Could have had my own garage and repair business. I'd be in the chips today instead of...
Yes, you would have made more money.
Instead of risking my neck driving all night, twisting in and out of help pillars, skidding on slippery car tracks.
Why, Mac? Why did you do it?
How many times I gotta tell you that nothing in this whole cockeyed world could have kept me sitting back at this wheel, except my wife. If it wasn't for Ellie,
What's the matter, Mac?
Nothing, I guess. That house we just passed, that was ours. And, The lights are out.
Is that unusual?
It just means Ellie ain't home. She's probably going down to the corner as far as the drugstore. Yeah, Ellie walks the dog there every night about this time. And...
Yes, Mac?
The call we're going to is that drugstore.
Yes, Mac.
Mason, you got a hunch what it is. Tell me what it is.
It is not a birth, Mac.
Let me through! Let me through again! Ellie! Ellie! It's Ellie! Mason, do something! You gotta do something! Please! Please!
We will take her to the hospital, Mac. Let's get ready. The next call will be ours.
812 ready.
Yes, you heard. The other ambulance just went out.
Are you crazy? My wife is upstairs in the operating room, and you expect me to leave the hospital? To go out and drive?
There are people who need us, Mac. Our work tonight is not yet finished.
But Ellie needs me. What do I care about other people?
There are people, Mac, who will cry out for help. As your wife did. We will answer.
Not me. I ain't moving.
It is Christmas Eve, Mac.
Christmas Eve. What a Christmas present I got.
64 West Street.
It's our turn, Mac.
64 West Street.
All right, Mason. But this is my last trip for the night. No, not for the night. Forever. I'm through, do you hear? All washed up. For good.
I'm terribly sorry, Mac. We did the best that we could.
Dying? Ellie's dying? And
She asked for you, Mac. Just once. It was while you were out on that West Street call. Then she lapsed into coma.
Ellie? Ellie? Isn't there a chance, Doc Garrett?
I doubt it.
While I'm out with the crate, my wife calls for me, and now she's unconscious. Think of others, he said, because it's Christmas Eve. What do you got to say now, Mason? You took me from her. You made me go out and drive the rotten ambulance while she...
You went to help others, to bring aid to the suffering.
A lot of consolation, that is.
Remember how the old woman blessed you, with tears in her eyes.
Oh, I can't think of nothing. But Ellie's going. You with your big ideas and your fine speeches. What do you know about sorrow and suffering?
All that there is to know, my son.
Just now when you said that for a second you got old. You look more than 1,000 years old. I must be seeing things on account Ellie is leaving me, and I'm crazy with grief and sorrow.
Grief and sorrow for you. Yet how much you did to relieve others of that pain.
It's funny, Mason, but...
Yes, Mac.
When you said those words, I thought of my 8 years. The 8 rotten years. And they didn't seem so bad. Not anymore. Now I kind of like them.
Sorrow worketh repentance. You should, Mac. You should glory in them. 8 years of bringing a healer to the suffering. 8 years of rushing the torn and the smashed to the hands of the mender.
Yeah. Your words, they just take the pain right out of me. They just draw it out.
Now that your work for this night is finished, Mac, I will walk home with you.
Go home? While Elliot...
Yes.
Okay, if you say so, Mason. But for the life of me, I don't know why I'd take your word. What a break. What a rotten break I got on Christmas Eve.
You love her a great deal, don't you?
Yeah.
Soon it will be midnight.
A Merry Christmas.
How did she greet you each night when you returned from your driving?
How did Ellie greet... Why do you ask that, Mason?
Tell me, Mac. I want you to say it.
Well, she...
Tell me.
She's like a happy, anxious kid. She'd go out and put on a porch light. Didn't matter even if the weather was terrible. I used to bawl her out for it. Tell her she'd catch pneumonia. But she'd always put on a porch light and stand outside there, waiting
for her shining knight returning from his errands of mercy.
As soon as she'd see me come around the next corner, she'd call to me.
And now, will you continue your driving?
Yeah. I'm sticking to it, Mason. Even though Ellie won't be around, I'm sticking.
This is your corner.
Yeah.
Look to your house, my son.
The light. A porch light. It's on. Mason. Your eyes. Mason. Mason. Where are you?
Look to your house, my son.
No. It can't be. It's Ellie. Ellie, darling, it is you. Thank God. Thank God. And forgive me. I did not know who you were.
You have just heard the 6th annual Pillsbury presentation of Grand Central Station's traditional Christmas drama. In a moment, I'll return with the names of the players who gave such an inspired performance.
This is Galen Drake, bringing you a Christmas greeting from Mr. Philip W. Pillsbury, president of Pillsbury Mills. It reads, "Throughout the entire world, this Christmastide, families are gathered in prayer and festivity. Christmas started when a child was born into a family many centuries ago. And the families of the world have perpetuated the Christmas spirit. Fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters, united always in the hope that peace on earth, goodwill to men, will someday blanket the world. Only when the true spirit of Christmas stays with us every day shall we know the peace on earth that angels sang about so long ago. I extend a greeting to your family from the people who make up the Pillsbury family, and it's a big family. The farmer who plants the wheat, the employees in our mills and offices, and your grocer, baker, and feed dealer who carry our Pillsbury products. We at Pillsbury hope this Christmas will be a true day of joy, that there will be songs and feasting, a family gathered round the table, and a word of prayer, and above all, the laughter of children. For it's the children who will keep Christmas always the day of love and understanding. Signed, Philip W. Pillsbury."
Our play, Miracle for Christmas, was written by Jay Bennett. Our stars, Mason Adam as Mac and Ralph Clanton as Dr. Mason. Gilbert Mack was featured as the young father, Walter Grisey as Dr. Garrett, Madeline Pierce as the baby, with the music by Lou White and Burley Mills. Next week, the tender, affectionate drama of the young reporter whose human interest New Year's story never got printed because instead of writing it, he lived it. Our cast is headed by the three top featured players of Broadway's smash hit, Death of a Salesman, Cameron Mitchell, Mildred Dunnock, and Howard Smith. Now, this is your Grand Central Station narrator, Ken Roberts, wishing you, for all the Pillsbury folks, a very Merry Christmas. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Stay tuned for Stars Over Hollywood. It's 1 p.m. White Rose tea time. Feeling droopy? Perk up with White Rose